Um, okay. No, I don't. What? Where did my post go, bro? Okay, there it goes. Right, so it is up. Will not need the controller for this stream. Okay. Let's find music. Oh yeah, I forgot fucking ads, so I'd need to run my own one instead. Fuck. This can go away. Oh, that was it? What clip was this? Oh yeah, this was that clip from last night. Okay. Music, game soundtracks. No, it's in videos, isn't it? Videos, game soundtracks. Hearthstone Full OS2. The one on YouTube goes all the way up to the latest expansion. So, but I ain't running it because there's so many ads on it. It basically becomes not worth running. Let's close Steam in the background. Don't want it fucking up my bitrate by randomly updating something. Okay, let's let's find the Great Dark Beyond Hearthstone. There should be a piece of key art on here. There you go. Awesome. Copy. Paste. Page design size 1080. Yeah, it scales properly. Oh, this might actually be. I mean, it's obviously not 1920 by 1080. Hey, Lola, how you doing? And then we need, before we continue, let me return to this folder. Actually, let me put the music on in the background. Probably be a little bit louder. B cup. Oh, boop. Okay. I read that wrong. Let's get the rest of these cards. So we want all the Paladin ones. Orbital Satellite. Lumia. Libram of Faith. Interstellar Researcher. Irrel, Beacon of Hope. Libram of Divinity. Libram of Clarity. Interstellar Wayfarer. Starslight, Celestial Aura. And then I don't know if there's any more neutrals. Dismiss. Hey, it's Cyber, how you doing? Neutral. Oh, I've got to scroll down for neutrals. Okay. So there's 35 in here. 6, 12, 18, 24, 35. So I've got all the neutrals as well, which is good. Okay. Now I have to do a secret bit of background work and find my it's an old VOD and I don't even know which channel it's going to be on, so you'll have to give me a hot second here. After work and having a drink. Ah, yes. I need to find, is it on this channel? No? Okay. Oh man, that means it's on an old channel. Titans, okay. Alright, so we practice here, bring this back. Got a notification on Discord, which is literally it just telling me, congratulations, you are live, thanks. Big appreciate, I didn't need to know, I'm aware that I'm live. Right, so we're going to have last time we had a set of criteria for these, so I'm going to close that down, and I don't think that changed it much. I don't know. What we need is layers. I need to like, hold on. How to lock an object's location in Publisher. Put it on the background. Control M. So this makes it a master page, apparently. Okay, that's pretty cool. So this one can't be moved because of the master page. Excellent, good to know. Alright, so we need some boxes. Actually, we need some word art. We're going to use Bellway font, which is... I think it's actually officially a Hearthstone font, but we'll see. Right, so we have objectively good cards, which will go up here. Insert word art, and we have objectively bad cards, which I forgot to change the font for. Oop. I always say I'm going to make a better one of these the next time I do it, but I never do. And we need a meta-defining. These are cards that are going to be like super important for competitive play, and like basically if they aren't seen, it will be some kind of travesty. Then we have, oh wait, what the fuck is that box meant to be? Oh well, we have gimmick potential, which is my favourite section. It's for cards that like aren't super strong, but like if you put them in a specific deck, that relies around that strategy, then they can be good. And finally, oh actually I put that in the bottom, didn't I? And then finally we have trash, which is cards that will literally never see play because they are bad. Put gimmick potential in the middle, put trash here. Getting everything to line up. Beautiful. Okay, well it looks objectively hideous. Next time there will be a better one. I sort of want to pretend, but there definitely won't be. So I'm going to drink a little bit of water before I start, because this is going to be another yapping stream. We've got 135 cards to go through, I believe. Let me just double check that. 145 cards. Okay, we'll start with Death Knight. What I need to do is zoom these in. So let's start with Okanai Death Speaker. After another friendly minion is reborn, summon a copy of it. Is that music too loud? How does that sound again? That looks like it's a little bit too loud compared to my voice. Let's turn it down a little bit. That should be fine. Okay, so Organized Death Speaker. Another friendly minion is reborn, summon a copy of it. I'm trying to think of the chances this card is good. I know Death Knight can do some reborn stuff, but I'm not entirely sure how much of it is like really that important. Actually, do these come in this size? They do, so that's going to make it a bit more awkward. How good is this really? I mean, as a 1-drop, that's really quite strong. Just trying to figure out precisely how strong. I don't think it's a gimmick. I think that there's a potential for it to be exceptional, but I don't think it's going to be like the meta-defining card. I think I'll put it into objectively good. It's a 1-drop. It's unholy, which works very well with the reborn stuff. But I don't think it's going to be like a card that's in every Death Knight deck, which is basically what meta-defining means. Alright, next one, Airlock Breach. Summon a 5/5 undead with Taunt and give your hero 5 health, spend 5 corpses to do it again. This is meta-defining. This will be in every Highlander Death Knight deck. Usually Highlander Death Knight decks are rainbow, so you use all 3 colours, so you can use Rainbow Seamstress. This being 2 different rune colours is big on that. The fact it also gives you like 5 health, 10 if you have the extra 5 corpses, which you usually will on by 6, and you're summoning a 5/5 with taunt, which is really really strong. So I think this will probably be in every Highlander Death Knight deck. I can't say for sure if it'll be in every. Just no, where's my folder gone? Fuck, I just clicked out. My bad. Let's put that. No, it's this. Put that on top. Yeah. So I think that's how it'll work. All right. Soulbound Spire. Summon a minion with cost equal to this minion's attack, up to 10. I don't know how starship pieces work. I'm wondering if there's. How do starship pieces work? No. Okay, some minions in Grey Dark Beyond have the keyword starship piece. The first time it dies, you start building a starship. As more starship pieces die, they get added to your in-progress starship. Well, that doesn't help. How does that work? Have an amalgamated cost equal to the sum of the starship pieces. Huh? Maybe there's a video explaining them. Expansion reveals. Spell burst is back. Some minions, okay. You can't be appears inactive while you're building a starship. Appears inactive on your board and takes up a board slot, but it can't be attacked, damaged, targeted, or destroyed, except by Reno. So it's basically a dormant minion. Click on that in progress starship to check what piece has been added, and you can launch it for any time for 5 mana. Putting directly into play, you can launch as many as you want in the game, but you can only build one at a time. So it's kind of like, I guess it's kind of like a commander in Magic the Gathering. I don't know, I don't play Magic the Gathering anymore, and I never play Commander, but I'm pretty sure it's like, so you put it down and then you can play it for 5 mana basically, and then every time it dies you have to pay 5 mana to basically play it again. Alright, I think that what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the starship pieces to one side, because I don't think you can really evaluate them separately. I think you have to evaluate all the potential parts together. And there's trigger friendly minions, death rattle. So yeah, we'll orbital moon. Give minion taunt lifesteal. If you played an adjacent card this turn, also give it reborn. I don't think this is going to see as much play as people think it is. Like, taunt and lifesteal for 1 mana is a lot of stats for. There's a lot of keywords for 1 mana. But giving it reborn as well, like, I don't know, it just doesn't feel like something that's worth. Like, I think it's. I don't like this card. I don't like the idea of it. 1 mana gives something taunt and lifesteal, which is like. So you play, for example, with this being 2 blood runes, you're playing it in a blood deck, a blood rune deck. So you play Alexandros Mulgrain on 8, and then you give it taunt and lifesteal. Then, I think it will probably be played around with. I just don't think it's good. I don't think it will see play. Okay. The 8 hands from beyond. This is the gimmick. This is 100. I've read this card, and I think this is 100% a gimmick. Destroy both players' decks except the 8 highest cost cards in each. Like, this is not a real card that anyone is seriously going to play. I think this is a card that will be seen in decks that are at like casual levels, rather than anything serious. Basically, it probably should go in the trash. But at the same time, I feel like there probably are going to be some people who run gimmick decks specifically just to run this card. But I don't think it's going to be in any meta-defining decks, because, like, obviously the idea of this, the way you want to play this is that your 8 cards cost less than your opponent's 8 cards. And like one of the things I'll probably test this with Alex with is against Jade Druid. Like Jade Druid shuffles 8. Oh no, it's the 8 highest cost. So yeah, I don't know. I don't think this is not good, and it's not like it's bad. It's just it's never going to be a card that's going to be running a real deck. It's a gimmick. Exarch Maladar. This is going to be meta defining. Maybe for the same reason that Airlock Breach is going to be meta defining. I think that this card is going to see play in literally every Death Knight deck, in my opinion. Because like anything that can run Holy, I should say, just because of how like strong that is, like using corpses to cast a minion. Swaguar, who is another Hearthstone content creator, I believe, made a post questioning, and then I did the math on it, and the idea was how would you use this to get to Mechathune? And on turn 10, assuming you've got 10 corpses, you can Maladar into Mechathune and then Eternal Layover, the give everything reborn and kill it. And apparently that will win you the game, assuming you've got no cards left in your deck or hand. Honestly though, like, considering how strong it is, it's like there's a priest card called Blood of Gahoon. It's a legendary. And it's basically just for the next 2 cards, they cost life instead of mana. And like, I don't think that was exceptionally... Why are you taking so long to load, dude? Hello? Not Blood of Gahoon. Gahoon the Blood God, sorry, my bad. Draw 2 cards, they cost health instead of mana. And yeah, I mean, this is exactly the same kind of effect as that, except obviously you're not draining your life pool away to use it. But I honestly see this as being something that will be used in a lot of decks. It is exceptionally strong. I guess I can catch that maybe. And honestly, I think it's also a very well designed card. Like, I think a lot of what determines what's a good or a bad card in this game is how well balanced it is compared to everything that currently exists. And obviously like stuff like, I mean, obviously Mechathune isn't the example, but it's definitely an example, especially in Death Knight, where they've got a way to potentially OTK with just that. Alright, Suffocate. Destroy a minion if you're building a starship. Also destroy a random neighbor. So this is kind of like Rolling Fireball or something that destroys more than one, or Cascading Darkness, I think it's called. The Warlock card. Why the fuck is Firefox so slow? Why is it opening 2 tabs? Hearthstone. I've probably got the wrong Cascading Disaster. My bad. Yeah, and this just destroys 2 minions. When it's corrupted, it destroys 3 instead. I think this works on the same sort of principle. It requires you to be in the middle of building a starship, which again, like, I'm not entirely sure how that works, so I can't really evaluate this card properly. I imagine that the starships are going to be mostly gimmick decks. Like, I don't feel like I mean, admittedly, I haven't seen any of them yet, but I get the feeling that this new mechanic is not going to be like a game changer in the meta. I think it will probably be they'll probably be in Highlander decks, because it's like, oh, here's some extra cards you can throw into those decks that work with your Highlander. But at the same time, I don't think they're going to be that strong. Although saying that again, this is just from what I've seen so far. Destroy 2 minions for 4. Like, if it's Assassinate used to cost 5. Like, and then Priest got what's the Priest one? Destroy a minion, invoke Galakrond, Time Rip. And it's like, jeez, So yeah, now it's 4 mana, destroy 2 minions, assuming you're building a starship. So basically, I guess you don't cast this until you've got your starship down. That being the case, honestly, 4 mana destroy a minion is still objectively good. Like, I can't fault that. Like, it's very strong. 4 mana just destroy a minion with no rune requirement is extremely strong, and then it becomes a gimmick if you're looking to destroy 2. Right, we've got Assimilating Blight. Discover a free cost death rattle minion, summon it reborn. This is trash. Most people don't like cards that have RNG on them. That rune layout is pretty wank. Like, Blood with 2 Unholy is pretty difficult to... It's not like it's difficult, it's just like it's not one of the better ones. It cuts you off from using a lot of the good Blood cards that cost 2 runes. Unholy is arguably... I mean, I would honestly say Unholy is probably the strongest, especially in WoW, but exclusively because of Marigar. And, you know, like... basically, in every Death Knight deck in Wild, you've got to also run Sylvanas the Accused and Poseidon Athreus, as well as the Primus. This is very close to being Rainbow, but it's not. So I'm just going to put it in trash, because no, I'll just put it in objectively bad. I can see examples where it probably would be run as like a oh shit button for I need a 3-drop. Well, I need a minion with Reborn on the board. And like obviously there are options. There are times you could high roll with it, which would make it seem brutally unfair, because there are probably some really good. It's like any of the Discover a Forgos. I think there's a priest one that discovers a 4-drop, and you can get like a Flame Reef Faceless. Summon a 4-drop, a random 4-drop, and you can get like Flame Reef Faceless off it, or like if you're in a pinch, you can you can accidentally roll into a taunt and then win the game from there, which kind of. But yeah. We got Wakener of Souls, Taunt Reborn, Death Rattle, Resurrect a different friendly Death Rattle minion. This is objectively good. Like, it's 10 mana for 8/7, plus it comes back as an 8/1, so it's a bit annoying to get rid of. Resurrecting a friendly Death Rattle minion, depending on what you're running in the deck. Usually there's going to be a pretty decent Death Rattle in Demon Hunter. So I can see that being only 10 cards. Where's the play Hearthstone? Shit, where's the starship? Oh, this is stupid. Hold on. Play Hearthstone, The Great Dark Beyond. Is there your cards? See, that's the thing. Is like I don't know what that does. So, Death Knight. No, there's only 10. So I'm guessing each one is its own thing. Each one of these contributes towards a starship, but they are their own starship. I don't fucking know. Summon a minion with cost equal to this minion's attack up to 10, so it's going to be what, maximum 5 unless you buff it in other ways. As a Death Rattle, which will happen. So it gains that it summons a minion when it dies, so it replaces itself. Trigger spellburst, trigger a friendly minion's Death Rattle. I don't fucking know, man. These are hard to determine, because I'm not even sure if there's like maybe I should have started with neutral, but I'm not sure if there's neutral starship pieces, because right now obviously it means there's only 2, but I imagine there probably are. So for now I'm just gonna fucking I'll put trigger a random friendly minion's Death Rattle into objectively good. I'll put this one into yeah, I'll put this one into, I mean, obviously there's got to be ways to buff it, and I imagine the stats aggregate, because they said that. They said that it's stats. They get added to your in progress while you're building. I fucking don't know, man. I don't know how these work. There should be a video for how these work. Oh, hold on. There is a video. Okay. Yeah, go on. Okay, cool. Yeah. So it goes dormant. So it was a 3-2. You see what they should have done for this video to make it a little easier to understand is actually play the second starship piece so we can see how the second one interacts with the first one. Okay. Well, I don't really know how to rate these then, because there's no. Okay, you can stop. Thank you. Since. So what? The maximum you're gonna get out of that, right? Okay, hold on. So we got 3, 3, 2, 2. So maximum is 10 cost anyway. Now, assuming that there are no neutral starship pieces. Then that means the maximum attack this can have across the entirety of the game is 10. And obviously you can keep resummoning it, but unless it has rush, one of the starship pieces has rush, it can't attack the turn it's summoned, and since none of them seem to have taunt, well, these two don't anyway. Yeah. I mean, how long does a game realistically go on for now? It's a good question. Because obviously this is the value of this is determined specifically by how long the game goes on for, because obviously like you want to get to these quickly and now traitless, so it's not like you can easily just discover them or search them. They also have no runes. See, this one is fine because all you got to do is have like Eliza Goreblade in play and just get this to trigger from the spell burst. But this one's harder to determine because it's... let me make a new section for this. I'm going to call it middle of the road. Or hard to determine. That's what I'll call it. Hard to determine. So I can't say for sure what this card is going to be capable of because... like, we're not currently in a control or a meta, we're in an aggro meta. We're in a game, we're in a time at the moment with the game where everybody's playing very aggressively, there's very little control. So yeah, let's separate these out. So I can... Okay, so Death Knight has no trash cards. Let me, where can I put that? I think I could probably put that here. Actually, let me, what I'll do is I'll put them on, I should have a random Discord server I can just toss them into for the time being. Close this. New channel, test. I'll just put it in there. Okay. So now we delete these and go to Demon Hunter. Good start. Okay. Self-use battery. Okay, we're going to put the starship piece. Actually, no, we can now rate the starship. Sort of. Right, so after this attack, give your other minions +1 attack. I'm going to put this in objectively bad. As I sort of said just now, if they don't have rush, if they can't attack the moment you launch them, then this on-attack thing is kind of stupid. I don't think Demon Hunter has a forced attacking method like Hunter or Demon Hunter. Or Death Knight. So I'm going to put this in bad because like the buff is fine, but you have to attack with it. It has to live long enough for it, and it's only a 2/3. So I'm gonna put that. I'm gonna assume it's bad for now. Headhunt, deal 2 damage, get a 4/4 crewmate with a bonus effect. Okay, let me see this. What are the crewmates? There should be a uncollectibles, I imagine. So we're looking for crewmates. Filter. Keyword. They may not have crewmate yet. Where do I find uncollectible? Probably not on here. Let me see. Hearthstone, The Great Dark Beyond, crewmates. Crewmate mechanic. Okay, so these are the crewmates. Alright, so they're all Draenei. So what rush summon every adjoining crewmate. What are adjoining mean? What does that mean? Crewmates of 4 mana with 1 of 8. Each one has battle cry summon every adjoining. What does that mean? Summon every adjoining. I'm just wondering what that actually means. Because they all have it. But we'll just treat it as, we'll just say for the sake of argument, it's a 4 mana 4/4. So you get a 4 mana 4/4, basically like an adventurer, but maybe slightly, could be considered slightly better because they have another keyword that I don't know what that does. I mean, 1 mana deal 2, it goes to your hand. I don't know what it's going to do there, but it's still a 4. I'm going to call this bad. I don't think crewmates are going to be that useful unless whatever summon the adjoining crewmate means is really strong. I think this is bad. That's just my take on it for now. But then again, actually, I'm going to put this in hard to determine then, because I can't determine whether it's good because the summon an adjoining crewmate just doesn't make sense. Unless it's in your hand. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me read that again. Yeah. Battle cry. Summon every adjoining. Okay, so what if, and I'm just gonna throw this one out there as a guess. What if summon every adjoining crewmate means specifically that if there is another crewmate in your hand next to it, it also summons that one? That's the only thing I can think of, because obviously if they are on your board, it would say something like summon a copy of the adjoining crewmates. So I guess the goal is to get as many of these as possible, and then you get them for free. Like you get a bunch of 4/4s for nothing. Well, for 4 mana. Okay, so if that is if that is how it works, I can imagine there is going to be a meta defined around how many of these you can get in your hand. And even then, it depends on how many ways there are. I'm going to leave it in hard to determine until I see if there are any more that do this. Alright, rush. Summon all... Okay, well. Battle cry. Shuffle all 8 crewmates into your deck. Death rattle, draw 1. Okay, so this is going to be a gimmick. Good to know. Okay, right, so now we know it's a gimmick. It's not a real deck. It's not going to be competitively viable. But it is going to be an excellent gimmick. In the sense that it... Like, this whole it's going to be like adventurers, like they're a gimmick. So this is the whole point of this deck is to get as many crewmates as you can in your hand and then summon them all at once. But it is a gimmick. There is not anything else going on with them. A 4-mana 5/4 with Rush is pretty good. Plus draw one specific card. The problem is I don't know how valuable they are in the deck. But at the same time, I imagine that because they're still, you can still run this in a Highlander deck because it, even if you put all 8 in, it's after the start of the game and there is only one of each. But yeah, it's 100% a gimmick. I don't see this being a real deck. Outcast and Spellburst. Shuffle your hand. Okay, well, this is just trash. If this means exactly what I think it is, which is just it changes the order of cards in your hand, then actually, no, that could be good because Outcast is the left and rightmost card in your hand. And obviously, you might want to shuffle your hand around in order to. How good is Outcast right now, though? I haven't seen it used in a hot minute. It's kind of hard to determine. I'm not going to put it in trash. I'm going to put it in hard to determine because being able to resort your hand in order to get an Outcast trigger early or earlier than you normally would is pretty strong. Well, especially if it's something like Scholar Gul'dan, which I know isn't. I don't know if it's actually available in standard, but in wild it is. Yeah, I mean that could be interesting. I just don't think it's 100% a good card. Alright. Zortoth, Breaker of the Stars. Add 2 stars to both sides of your hand. When they collide, deal 5 damage to all enemies. Do we have knowledge of what the stars are? I'll leave this one till last in case we find out what that is. Oh, okay. Hold on. I'm just going to base this on the concept that it's 2 cards that get added to your hand. Oh, wow. The combo with that and Eldritch Being. Can you imagine? So you play this. So you get to, say, turn 10. You play this. You get the 2. You only Eldritch Being. Shuffle your hand. No, because you won't be able to Eldritch Being because it'll be because the stars will be on either side of it. I mean, even then, like 6 mana for a heavily delayed flame strike, I don't think that's very good. I don't think it's trash though. I think I'm just gonna put it in like objectively bad. Like, because unless your hand is empty at the point of which, hold on one second. Yeah, because unless your hand is empty when you play it, like, and you really need a board wipe and like you're playing off the top of your deck, I think this is a struggle card. Basically, I don't think it's a particularly good card. Warp Drive, 3 mana, draw 2 cards. If you are building a starship, they cost 2 less. Okay, this is just subjectively good. Arcane Intellect is a 3 mana spell for mage that draws 2 cards. Scholar Gul'dan, I think, costs 5 right now. I think they buffed it again. And if it's out, not Scholar Gul'dan. Yeah, it's Scholar Gul'dan. It costs 6. You draw 3, and if it's Outcast, you draw. They cost less. This is basically in the same vein as that. I think this has insane potential because of how cheap a lot of Demon Hunter cards are. So I'm going to go with that. Shard Turret, Rush, Wind, Fury. Okay, so this is, so far, I'm going to say this is the best Starship Beast we've seen so far. Because it has Rush and Wind Fury, which is really strong. And 2, like, 4 health is pretty annoying to get rid of. 2 attack is not brilliant, but at the same time, like, it means that as soon as it wakes up, it can do something instead of sitting around for a whole turn. Whereas this one is wait a whole turn to give your minions +1 attack. So I guess they work in conjunction, but you almost guaranteed want to see Shattershard Turret before you see this one. Right, the epic. Emergency meeting. Get 2 4/4 crewmates, put around the demon that costs 3 or less between them. This requires some thinking about because it, like, so the crewmates, obviously it depends on what, I mean, even then, for 2 mana, they're being added to hand. Oh wait, this is still part of the gimmick. This is a gimmick. Why am I even thinking too hard about it? This is a whole gimmick. Like, I was gonna, like, do a mental rundown of how good are the 3 or lower cost demons, and it doesn't fucking matter because it's a gimmick. It's not a real deck. Choose a minion, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Honestly, I think this card is bad. Like, it's Hellfire, except for 1 minion. And this is saying a lot because, so, Warlock have had, since the very inception of the game, Warlock have had an 8 mana spell that destroys all the minions in play. And now they've got another version of it that also costs 8 mana. That destroys everything except demons. And it's like, why does it cost 8? It's literally the same card, except it has a requirement attached to it. Or it's basically a buff version, I suppose. So obviously if you're playing it, you're only really playing demons. Fair enough. Choose a minion, deal 3 damage to all other minions. Is this good? It's really hard to tell. I'm gonna put it in hard to determine because, like, the thing is it's a card that I'm pretty sure that it has the potential to be good. And broadly speaking, it probably is good. But it being a cheaper Hellfire is confusing to me. Honestly, I think maybe I'll put Zortov somewhere else. It feels a bit weird to call it bad because it's a legendary. I think this is a gimmick. I'm going to put this in gimmick. I don't think this is going to be seen in any real decks. I think it is just like it's a cool idea, but it's not a real card. Basically, that's my opinion. I'm sticking to it. I like calling it objectively bad is only because Flamestroke costs 7, and it basically does exactly this, and it doesn't have this stupid add 2 stars to both sides of your hand when they touch each other, like Flame Strike. It's a delayed Flame Strike, and it's not like you can put cards back in between. So yeah, that's I'm going to put it in gimmick. I don't think it'll ever see real play. Varan, I recruit at the end of your turn, get a 4/4 route. Okay, screw mate. There you go. There you go, that's all that was easy. Demon Hunter. Okay, so basically, I think the only thing with Demon Hunter is that they have a really strong deck right now with the Patches of Pilot deck. I don't think that they're gonna get. I don't think that anything that they've got on this will be meta defining. Like, the only thing they have that maybe could be is crewmates, but even then, like, adventurers were not a meta defining deck, so I don't imagine crewmates are going to do much better. Even with the summon adjoining ones, like, it just seems hard to believe that that's going to be a good deck. Alright. Druid, Stargazer, elusive taunt spell burst. Give your hero +8. Fuck me. That's beyond objectively good. That's just broken. So in the very beginning of the game, Druid got an 8 mana 8/8 taunt Ironbark Protector, I think it's called. And this is just like a ridiculous buff on it, because it's not just 8/8, it's also 16/16 that also can't be targeted by spells. I honestly think this will be seen in like whatever. Actually, no, it depends. Like, I'm gonna barest minimum I have to put in objectively good. The problem is I don't know what Druid is really doing in the meta right now. And I don't know if it's aggro based or if it's one of those things that's like they play a slow game and control the game up until the end, and then you know, like play that way, but play stuff like this. But it is, for all intents and purposes, a fucking incredibly broken card. Thank you for the care package. Not bad. Some of you spent over £100 on a digital card game today. Right, their next card, Distress Signal. Summon 2 random 2-cost minions, refresh 2 mana crystals. I think this card is trash. Summoning 2 random 2-cost minions, very risky. Like, you know, there are some good 2-drops, yeah, sure. But most of them are garbage, and that's why they cost 2. Refreshing 2 mana crystals. This isn't, so there's the mage spell called Refreshing Springwater. Costs, I believe it costs 4 at the moment. It did get nerfed to 5. I'm pretty sure it's back on 4 now. And it's draw 2 cards, restore 2 mana for every spell you draw. And it's objectively better than this. Like, getting 2 random 2-drop minions is not worth, like, obviously it's worth 4 mana, but like, you're getting 2 random ones, and those 2 random ones can fuck up your own strategy, so I'm going to put it in the trash. I don't think this card will ever see play. Like, maybe in Token Druid, but I know Token Druid, I'm pretty sure at least Token Druid isn't a real thing anymore. Alright, summon 3/2/3 elementals with Taunt. If your board is full, give your minions +1/+1. Again, this is actually good, because a 2/3 elemental with Taunt is worth 2 mana, basically. And if your board is full, give your minions +1/+1. So it's like, usually, this again goes into the so are they trying to revive Token Druid with this shit? Because that's 5 minions between them. I don't think Token Druid is going to take off the way it did before, though. I think it's a good card. I just don't think it's. I don't think that Token Druid is going to have a chance to come back unless there's some really good shit in here we haven't seen yet. Alright, Final Frontier. Discover a 10-cost minion from the past. Set its cost to 1. Meta defining. 10-drop cards are insane. You know what's even stronger than a 10-drop card? Is a 10-drop card that costs fucking 1. Like, even the Druids, 10 cost, Tyrantus, which was the 10 mana, 14/14 with, I think it was Taunt and Evasive, like, is considered a bad minion, even though it's a 10 mana, 14/14 with Taunt and basically can't be targeted by spells or hero powers. But a 1 mana 14/14 that's fucking broken, especially when you get to choose from 3. And I don't know what the past means. I'm guessing it just means from the entirety of the wild expansion. If we can, let me see if I can bring this up. So we want wild cards, and we want mana cost 10. Huh? What have I got? What's the filter I've got? Oh, crewmate. There you go. And we want card type minion. Okay, so we got. Then you're discovering it, so it's being added to your hand. I guess you could. I'm gonna guess say hard code it so you can't get Cthulhu Shattered. So you got 10 with a death rattle, like huge 10. I'd say this isn't a good one. Whenever it attacks, draw a beast and get its stats. Could be good depending on if you're playing beasts. At the end of your turn, summon a 6-drop. If you can discover that, that's broken. If you cannot, then it's balanced. I think they must. They really should have hard coded it so you can't get this. A 1 mana 10/10 with Divine Shield Reborn. The Dark Moon Rabbit. A triple fucking poison with real poison, not just venomous. Deathwing. 1 mana with nuke the board. 1 mana destroy other cards, discard a minion for every minion played. 1 mana 12/12. 1 mana double the attack and health of all minions. A&R, which is a fucking titan. 1 mana 10/10, just vanilla, is insane stat distribution. Like, there are very few of these. Like, you mean there's like fucking giants and like. There's like, I mean, Kun the Forgotten King. This might be one of the strongest things you can potentially fucking get from it. 1 mana 7/7, refresh your mana crystals. If you're playing Guff, the hero Guff, where your mana can go to 20. 1 mana 8/8 with Rush and Wind Fury. 1 mana 7/7. More giants, 1 mana, fucking Sire Denathrius. Jeez, that could be a game changer. Holy fuck, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, there's 1 Tyrannus, a 1 mana 14/14 with Taunt and can't be targeted by heroes' powers. 1 mana Yasharaj, the people who hated Barnes will fucking hate this. More giants. It's only it's specifically 10 cost, but at the same time, like, you see my point. Is like that's insanely broken. Where the fuck is it? Yeah, I genuinely think that a lot of, I mean, if they are trying for like a late game druid setup, then this is also going to be meta defining, because there will be big druid again, like ramp druid, where you like get lots of mana very quickly, and push it to the point where you can use Final Frontier and this thing. Like, that card is fucking mental. That is insane. Right, Exile Kothar. If you're building a starship, get 3 different arcane spells and reduce their cost by 2. I think this is bad. I don't think this is good. Again, though, I mean, this depends on how good all of the arcane spells in the game are. And obviously you've got the option for the Notorious build, so this will probably go into, if the like the legendary deck, I can imagine it being in there. Otherwise, I don't really see it being played. Like, again, it's random. Like, it's nice to get the other bonus off your starship, but I don't see it being played, basically. Elusive, your first spell each turn costs 1 less. That is going to be meta defining. The druid has very rarely not had a meta presence which didn't revolve around them reducing spell costs, like Lady Anacondra in Nature Druid. And then, of course, before that and during that, I believe you had a lot of ramp that you could use as well. So, like, even like reducing the spell you cost by 1 is just really strong anyway. Right, after you cast an arcane spell, recast it. This obviously is meant to work in conjunction with this. At this point, I believe this becomes a gimmick. I don't think that, I get the feeling that this is... It's either going to be a gimmick that people play for fun, or it's going to be like the most ridiculously broken bullshit ever designed. And Druid is one of those, is pretty much the only class where you can provide those 2 descriptors, and both of them could be true. It's just Schrodinger's Hearthstone class, basically. You never know whether they're going to be insanely good or insanely shit. Alright. Choose 1, deal 2 damage to 2 random enemy minions, or make 1 dormant for 2 turns. So 2 mana damage split. I don't think you're really going to make things dormant. I don't think that's going to be the one that people use it for. I think that the dormancy would put in gimmick. 2 damage for 2 mana for 4 damage split across 2 minions. I'm going to put this in bad. I don't think this will see play. It's a nice 2 mana spell, and it's arcane, so it works for this stuff, but I don't think it's the arcane spell they'll be running. I assume there are better ones, and I don't think this will be the one that they run. Right, each time this is in your hand, get 2 random choose 1 choices. This is extraordinarily hard to determine. I imagine it's coded differently for if you're using it in a wild deck or in a standard deck, because it takes from the entire pool of choose 1 effects in the entire game, and that's a lot. It's like choose 1 is the keyword that there's a piece of Hearthstone trivia, which is that choose 1 is the keyword that they were forced to introduce the most additional artworks on just because a choose 1 effect splits a card into 2 basically. So for every choose 1 card they had to split it into 2. So I don't imagine they've done like 3 million artworks for this. Like to encompass each of the choose 1 effects in the entire game. But this is one of the biggest cards in the entire game, in my opinion. Like, because obviously those choose one can be like the 1 mana deal 2 damage, all the way up to nourish, restore 3 mana crystals. You know, like you can get a lot of really good stuff out of it, and it changes every turn, so that's going to be strong. Draw a card if it's a spell that costs 1 less, meta defining. This will be in every, as well as it being an arcane spell, this will be seen in literally every druid deck. It's a 1 mana draw a card that is, oh, it's draw a spell. Even then, it's 1 mana draw a card. Like, that is, like, if 3 mana draw 2 is the average, then 2 mana draw 1 is closer to the average. I think Crown Session costs 2, but it's got the axiom of being improved by spell power. Whereas this is just straight up draw 1, and if it's a spell, it costs 1 less. It's similar to like Cool Pet in Hunter, which is draw a card if it's a beast, it costs like 4 less. So it's sort of in that same vein where like it's strong, but it obviously gets. I mean, it's strong by default. You're trading 1 mana for 1 card from your deck, which is really strong. Okay. I need to reset that to where exactly it was, if possible. Let's remove these and move on to Hunter. I didn't get any of those, did I? Okay, apparently that's too much to ask for. Alright. Hunter. Biopod, Death Rattle. Deal damage equal to this minion's attack to a random enemy starship piece. I think that's bad. I don't... Hey, son, how you doing? I don't think Biopod is going to see that much play. Because it's only dealing damage specifically. Oh, it can deal damage to face, but even then, like the odds of it hitting face is 1 in as many as options as there are. I think maybe this is going to be another situation where the class's starship is going to be a gimmick rather than a real deck. I'm going to leave it there for now, and then depending on what the other piece is, we'll see. Alright. Detailed note. Discover a beast that costs 5 or more, reduces cost by 2. I don't know how... I mean, this is just strong on its own. No, hold on. No, it isn't. This is bad. I woke up in the middle of the night, saw a stream notification, so here you are. Absolutely. I'm going to hydrate, so you should hydrate too. Grab yourself a cup of tea. We'll be here for a while. That's just going on. Good enough. Discover a beast that costs 5 or more, reduces cost by 2. I'm going to put this in hard to determine, actually. I mean, I could just... what I might do in the background later on is run a statistical analysis of all the 5 cost or more beasts in the game and how good they are if they cost 3. Or how much they... or how good they are if their cost is reduced by 2. But for now, I think it sits here because it's like there's too many potential... Am I looking at a 3 mana 12/12? Dormant for 5 turns. At the end of your turn, destroy the minions to the right if there's 2 awaken 1 turn sooner. Okay, that's going to be meta defining. I get the feeling this is going to be an entire deck type. Actually, no, I'm just going to put it in objectively good. I don't think this is going to be a real deck. I think that this is going to be a minion that is run in a lot of decks. Because it's a 3 mana fucking 12/12. But it's... And like, I mean, it's only 5 turns. Like, Slagmore or Warrior is arguably worse than this in every way. Hold on, let me remove all the filters. How do I remove all filters? Actually, I can probably just do it here anyway. Let me take that off. Slagmore the Slumbering. Yeah, let's say, Yeah, you see, so this is... Oh, actually, no, Slag Model Slumbering is stronger. Okay. So yeah, Dormant for 6 turns, Excavate to awaken 2 turns earlier with Rush and Taunt. Is it bad that I want to call 3 mana 12/12 objectively bad? Like, there is a tier list I've got to do soon that will score extremely poorly on. I think I'm going to put it in objectively bad. I don't think it's... Like, it's obviously very strong. 3 mana 12/12 is fucking strong. But at the same time, I don't think it's ever going to see use, because in order for this to work, like, I mean, I've seen some people practicing with, like, token, Wolpertinger. Like, generally, if you buff things, you don't want to kill them yourself. I might just put it in gimmick potential, because it doesn't seem good enough to. It doesn't seem like the kind of card that people look at and go, yeah, no, sorry. It looks exactly like the kind of card that the people look at and go, I would love to run this. And then after a minute pause, they go, but. And this feels exactly like one of those cards where it is, you're waiting for the but to explain why they're not going to run it. I personally, I love the idea of it, but at the same time, I don't run real decks, so. Alright, replace your hero power with tracking. This card is meta defining already. Like, literally, this card is one of the strongest legendaries maybe ever printed. Now, what makes me especially happy about Exile now is the fact that it is. I'm always waiting for a but to explain. What makes me especially happy with this card is that it is an old school legendary. Right now, old school legendaries, we're talking, from the very start of the game, they had effects that were completely unique to them, instead of being like where Ragnar as the Fire Lord got basically completely outclassed by a rare minion, the Runaway Blackwing. And this, I don't like. The only things that. So there's a couple of things that actually do change the Hunter hero power. Ooh, I don't have one of those probably. But like, changing a hero power is always such a cool effect, especially if you're not. Because like, I still want to be Sylvanas when I play that. I want to hear her say she has no time for gays. Sorry, it's a meme. I'm gonna get cancelled for that joke. Let me find that voice line so people know that I'm just joking. I need a voice line. It is a joke. My friend who I've been having this dispute about with Sylvanas' voice line, in specific the one where she says, I have no time for games. I can't hear the M. So to me it sounds like I have no time for gays. I've asked 4 friends and they all say they hear the M clearly while I can't hear it. It's it's probably because the line was spoken very quickly, but it is just a joke. I'm not homophobic. Probably. After your opponent plays a minion attack, yeah, okay, this one's good. Like, these two seem in complete competition with each other. Like, so this one wants to die, but this one has 6 fucking health. That thing don't want to die. See, I'm going to say this Star Pod piece is crap. This one's insane. I'm just going to put this back in objectively bad. I guess the opposite of homophobic would be homosexual. I don't know though. A lot of fuck. I'm not. We can't. I don't know if we're allowed to have this conversation, son. I don't want to get cancelled tonight. No, okay. What is the opposite of homophobic? Oh, okay. So it's not just me who doesn't know. Alright. But yeah, I'm going to say this Starship piece is bad and this one is insanely good. Okay, fine, I'll look it up. What is the opposite of homophobic? There probably isn't anything opposite to it. Somebody who dislikes homosexuals. So yeah, I guess being homosexual is the opposite of being homophobic. Homophilic? Yeah. I mean, the best way to explain it is I'm necrophobic. I have a fear of dying. But we know what the opposite. We know what. We know that there are certain people who are fucking strange. So yeah, this specimen claw is fantastic, in my opinion. Like being able to, it doesn't give rush, but your opponent summoning a minion. There's I believe there's a is it a druid minion? I can't remember what it is, but it attacks. It's like 7/7. It immediately attacks anything your opponent plays. Old legendary minion. All right. Death Rattle. Summon a 3/5 beast that attacks the lowest health enemy when it dies. So you're a vampire then. I don't think this is that good. Moreover, I just don't think it will ever see play. Like, it's an interesting concept, but I just... The 0-2 stat line... Well, obviously you can pop it yourself, but I don't think that... Like, it takes you an additional card to basically, you know, run a card. So I think it's objectively... I think this card is trash. I think it will never see play in any serious deck. Or gimmick deck. I personally wouldn't run it even in, like, Egg Hunter. And I don't even run Egg Hunter. Like the ones I would be running in that. I mean, it is still a death rattle, but I will give you hickeys. Damn it. Deal 3 damage to a minion if you're building a starship, also damage its minions. So this is multi-shot for a modern age. Since I don't know, it's really hard with these fucking starships, man, because they're brand new. I guess I'll put it in good multi-shot if Specimen Claw is out. Biopod just seems like garbage. Summon 2/2/5 beasts with taunt. Cost low unless... Okay, this is going to be... This is objectively good. I'm not putting it in meta... Fuck, I grabbed it in the wrong place. I'm not going to put it in meta defining. I don't think a lot of decks will run this. I get a feeling that Exile now will basically be run in a deck. Like, it'll just be run on its own. It won't be using any of this other stuff. Because the discovery is just that strong. That's what you get when you have me in chat half asleep in the middle of the night. Fair enough. I mean, it is what, 1 AM for you? Okay. After you discover a card, get a copy of it, meta defining. I was wrong. I don't think this card is going to be seen as often, but this being a fucking 1-drop is ridiculous. I think that every deck that Exile Nail is in, and even some it won't be in, will also see Rantari Scout. Parallax Cannon has +2 attack if you discover this turn, spellburst your hero's immune this turn. God, I hate that fucking keyword. Immune. I wish I could say this is bad, but it's not. It's just fucking objectively good. There is nothing bad about that card. Boop. Hunter. So far, what deck is doing best? I mean, Druid. But then again, it's Druid. Death Knight's doing pretty well. I'd say Druid is like the strongest contender, but it depends on what they're trying to do with Druid this format or this expansion, because that's what really makes a difference in this. Alright, so next is Maj. Right, the next Draenei you play refreshes mana crystals equal to its attack. This is hard to determine. This depends entirely on which Draenei you play. After this, I imagine you probably want to be playing the 7/7 Velen, which I'm not even entirely sure is a neutral. I just know that it does exist in the game. So yeah, I'm going to put this in here because it depends on entirely on what the next menu play is. Blazing Accretion, destroy the top 3 cards of your deck, any fire spells or elementals are drawn instead. I mean, this is going to be run, this is objectively good. Actually, I think this is meta defining. I think this is literally just a draw 3. I don't think there's ever going to be a situation where this is used in a deck that isn't entirely fire spells and elementals. So I'm going to put this here because I can guarantee you every time this card gets played, it's going to be in a deck exclusively full of fire spells and elementals. I don't think that if you're running a deck with even one spell that isn't, or one minion that isn't, I don't think this needs to be in there. I don't think it'll see it in there, but I don't think that's the case. I think this is 100% going to be one of the strongest cards of this expansion. And if Mage doesn't find a place into the meta this time around, I'll be very surprised. Like, literally just draw 3. Shuffle 5 random spires. Yep. Everything here looks like it's good so far, besides this one random Draenei. Actually, didn't they get I think they're getting a spell that fills your board with... Oh no, that was the last expansion. They got a spell that fills your board with random Naga, and it's like... I've never seen that card played, ironically or otherwise. But fucking 3 mana, shuffle 5 random fire spells into your deck. That's just too strong. And I could do it again. What I might do is I'll take this later, cut it up, and run statistical analysis on every fire spell in the game. Because this thing costs 2 less. Is like you're looking at everything from the 1 mana that deals 2 damage, and now a 0 mana that deals 2 damage, and it gives you a 1/2 elemental to hand, which of course buffs your elemental plays. You got Wildfire, which now costs 2, which increases in damage every time you use it, which also costs 0. And like the highest cost spell for it is like Pyroblast, which is a 10 that now costs 8. And that is the worst case scenario, an 8 cost Pyroblast. Back in beta for Hearthstone, the most feared health amount if you were playing against a mage was 11, because Pyroblast originally did cost 8. And so if you were on 11 health, basically, against a mage, you knew you were fucked, because they were guaranteed to play Pyroblast Hero Plow Ping. And that's 11 damage and would immediately kill you. And eventually, it got so much they actually nerfed Pyroblast to 10 mana, which made it basically unusable, except for decks that cheated its mana cost. But yeah, this is fucking insane. Like, major eating good this format. Discover a spell and reduce its cost by 1 if you play it this turn. Repeat this effect. There is a, I believe it's a, I don't think it's dual class. I know it's Shaman at least. Instructor Fireheart. Discover a spellcraft. Get another copy of it, or get another. Let me just look it up. It's easier. We're looking for a Fireheart. Yep, discover a spell that costs 1 or more, so basically every spell in the game. If you play it this turn, repeat this effect. Oh, yeah, so you just... Yeah, so basically very similar thing, except... Yeah. That's fucking insane, again. I don't think this is going to be part of the same deck as this. I think this is an objectively good card, but I don't think it's going to be in the same deck as this, because it's not elemental. At least that's the way I would play it. I wouldn't put this in that same deck. But it is a fucking good card, because Instructor Fireheart is a good card. So, by definition, it's a good card. Actually, it's... I don't know. I don't want to rank that against Fireheart, because Fireheart's kind of really fucking good, and we haven't even tested X-Arc yet. Spontaneous Combustion, deal 4 damage to a random enemy. If you played an elemental last turn, choose a target. So it's... There was a card in Goblins vs. Gnomes called Flame Cannon. It's a 2-mana deal 4 damage to a random minion. So this is literally Flame Cannon with an upgrade. If you played an elemental last turn, 100% you will. Choose a target. It sounds good. I'm going to put in objectively good. Again, I get the feeling it probably wouldn't be played in this same deck. It is definitely a good card, though. Alright. 5-mana Solar Flare. Deal 2 damage to all enemies. Cost 1 less for each elemental you control. This, again, is similar to an older card called Dragon's Breath, I believe. No, it's not a minion, it's a spell. Dragon's Breath. Yep, deal 4 damage, cost... no, wait, hold on. Is it the same thing? Yeah, it's basically this, but better. It costs 1 less for each minion that died this turn. I think this is probably the only bad card. I think 2 damage AoE is not as strong as they think it is. Especially when most 1 and 2 drops nowadays have 3 health. Right, Pocket Dimension. Discover a spell, repeat until you see one for a second time. This is actually ridiculous. It's a gimmick. It's not like going to be meta defining, and it's not objectively good. It is a gimmick. Now, the way this card is a gimmick is because obviously you discover a spell. So you could maximum discover 10 spells, right? And even assuming it only includes the mage ones. Hold on, let me just go to... I'm going to set it to wild. Mage, spell, take that away. So there are 6 per row, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, 54, 60, 66, 72, 78. Some of these are duplicates, so I'll take like 10 off at the end. 84, 90, 96. There's fucking 100, basically. So, yeah, like, so the odds are good that you would discover 10 cards before it freaked out and gave you a duplicate. It might be hard-coded to give you a duplicate way earlier, but in my opinion, considering the random nature of it, I think it's going to go in the middle. Honestly, with this card, I'm going to put it into... There's a deck I've built, which is Day 9's No Minion Mage. And I'm going to be mixing that with an older version of the deck anyway. But this is 100% auto-include into that deck. Because like, even if you discover just like 2 semi-decent spells, that's insane. Next, Supernova. Fill your hand with random fire spells. They cost 1. Absolutely broken. It's the Sunwhirl, basically, except stronger, because it gives you a specific type of spell that didn't start in your deck. So you could also run this technically in a Romath deck. Romath is a 9-mana mage legendary Grand Magister, and it recasts every spell that didn't start in your deck. Romath, just double check that I have that right. Yeah, recast each spell you cast that didn't start in your deck. So yeah, Supernova is absolutely ridiculous. Obviously, you could accidentally pyroblast yourself twice in the face and die, but the odds of that are pretty low. Funny if it happens, though. Think of true. Give a fucking hell. Meta defining 6 mana. Give all elementals in your deck fire spell damage +1. I don't know if Mage has got any specific spell class spell damage cards yet, but I know Shaman got nature spell damage on a couple of cards. This in this exact mode is fucking insane, and it's one of each rarity as well, which just like they did this shit on purpose. Saruna's deck, like this this version of deck is probably something I'll be looking at, because Jesus. Alright, Arcwing Pilot. At the end of your turn, deal 3 damage to a random enemy. Spellburst, summon another one. I think this is bad. Obviously, they're kind of playing on the idea of the starships, but there are no starships in Mage. I think 7 mana is pretty fucking bad. In Wild, you can play Raz Frost Whisper, which does, by default, it does 1 damage to everything your opponent controls, including their face. Whereas, hold on. Spellburst. So, would the second Arcwing Pilot have a Spellburst to summon another Arcwing Pilot? I think I'm going to move this. I don't think it's bad. I think it's still bad, but I think there is potential for a gimmick in just having a... I bet you good money. I bet everybody a $5 or a gifted sub right now that there is an achievement on release of this set, and you can clip this, by the way. Hold on, let me just prepare, and then I'll clip it. Right? I bet on the release of this set, there is an achievement for ending a turn with 7 of these on your board. There, clip it. I'm betting everybody in chat right now, which is only 5 people, but I'm betting a gifted sub to all the people in chat right now that that's what happens with this card. Oh shit, I did that one. Mage. Right. Next, I believe, is Paladin. Oh, I'm excited for this, by the way. Like, it's because this is the last. Like, I was meant to be doing this yesterday night, but Paladin wasn't actually out yet. So, hold on, let me just look here. Ish. Right. And the only reason I didn't do this yesterday night is because Paladin stuff hadn't been revealed yet, but today it was, and fuck am I excited for this. Like, I don't usually play Paladin because Paladin is like a scumbag class, basically, which is kind of antithetical to the point of being a Paladin. But back in Madness of Darkmoon Faire, like, in this, Darkmoon Faire was the last set that I spent an ungodly amount of money. I had 232 packs. I completed the entire set in one sitting. If, for example, November 5th is when the new expansion comes out, right? Say I have 200 packs of this set, I could complete the entire set of all the cards from having none to having all of them in one sitting. And Darkmoon Faire is the only time I've ever actually successfully done that. And that's because I sold my PS4, which I don't regret because I got another one. But at the same time, like, it was a lot of packs. And yeah, it was. So for a long time, I played Dude Paladin on ladder, and I played Libram Paladin on ladder. And Libram Paladin is coming back in a pretty big way. So, Battlecry and Death Rattle. Reduce the cost of your Librams by 1 this game. I'm going to put... Because Librams are good, but I think they're not a real deck. I think they're a gimmick. Like, they're not... They're good, but they're not, like... They're not good enough to be here. I think they're more of a gimmick than they are objectively good. Like, because they're not hand buff Paladin, which is like the Paladin deck that's in the meta right now. But yeah, so on play, reduce the cost of your Librams by 1. And then once you've attacked with it 3 times, reduce the cost of your Librams by 1. And the highest cost Libram from Darkmoon Faire was like 7. And that's for a weapon, and all that weapon did was gain lifesteal when you corrupted it. I mean, it's a 5 attack weapon, so like getting 5 health back for 0 was pretty fucking strong. It's like, this is just ridiculous now. Alright, next card. Summon 3/3 Draenei with Divine Shield. If this costs 0, give them Rush. Gimmick potential, baby. Because getting this to cost 0 is not that hard. There's 2 cards in the... hold on, let me go here. There's 2 cards that are minions. One of them is a 1 mana 1/3, and the other one is a 4 mana 4/2. That reduce it. There you go. Outdoor Attendant, 1 mana 1/3, reduce the cost of your Librams. If you don't see this turn 1, it's not the end of the world. But broadly speaking, you usually will because you hard mulligan for this. And then this one is a 5 mana 4/6. with Taunt that reduces them by 2 for the rest of the game. So by the time... Oh yeah, I forgot about Libram, of course. Restore 8 health, summon an 8/8 with Taunt Divine Shield. So that's the bar. But you don't need to worry because you're never not going to see that at 0 mana. Pretty much. Like, getting them to cost 0 is not that fucking hard. That is 9/9 with Divine worth of damage with Rush for 0. That's fucking insane. Honestly, I'll probably be less incentivized to run this particular card. But at the same time, like, you can't argue with that. Like, Libram of Hope restores 8 health. If it was Lifesteal instead of Divine Shield, maybe. But at the same time, like, it's not like it matters. Give a minion +3/+3. If this costs 0, returns to your hand at the end of your turn. Well, that's ridiculous and extremely powerful for 4 mana. Because usually it's never going to cost 4 mana. By the time you even draw this card, it will probably cost 2. Or even 1. In Wild, by the way, Libram is going to be disgusting. In Standard, it might be a little bit less good. But in Wild, this is going to be a ridiculous deck. Battlecries... Fuck it. What Paladin gets here is basically just an entire gimmick, and I'm here for it. Interstellar Research has 2 mana 2/3, 2 mana 2/2, excellent stat line anyway, draw a Libram. Cast a spell, draw a Libram. Cool. Lifesteal, after the hero takes damage, they become immune for the rest of the turn. I hate this card. I genuinely dislike this card because it seems like a good idea on paper, but at the same time, there are going to be times where you want to finish a game out, and then you remember that Lumia's in play, and you've given them a way to survive lethal damage because you've made them immune. I think it's funny that it exists. Like, 6 mana 9/9 is a fucking insane stat line with Lifesteal. But I think that the fact that it's a symmetric... Okay, this is the best way to explain it. Is it's a symmetrical effect. Right, and that's the only thing that makes this bad. Is because it does it for both players. I would hate it more if it was exclusive to just yourself. But it's symmetric, and nobody likes symmetrical effects in Hearthstone. 6 mana, while you have exactly 1 minion in play, its attack and health are 10. Okay, so I saw a conversation about this actually on Twitter that didn't get resolved. And it was, if you have 1 minion and that 1 minion gets attacked, does its attack and health reset to 10? And I didn't get to see the answer, the end of that conversation. But I assume it does, because it just says if you have 1, its attack and health are set. It's just set to 10. Even if it takes damage, it won't take damage for those 3 turns, as long as you don't play enough minion, of course. So I'm going to put this in objectively good. I don't think that Paladin are going to have a meta at all, this format. But that doesn't matter because they're going to have one of my most fun gimmick decks. Divine Shield, Oh, right. Reduces the cost of your Librams by 1. There you go, Battlecry. 4 mana, 4/2. This is probably one I won't run. Like, that's not a good stat line, realistically. It has a Divine Shield, so it's like Blade of Cthulhu, I think it is. Which is also a 4 mana 4/2 that has a Divine Shield, but that buffs your Cthulhu by +2/+2. When I'm playing it in Wild, I think that, realistically speaking, there's no need to play this, because you've already got the 1 mana 1/3 and the 5 mana 4/6, and the weapon, and the Interstellar. So you've got plenty of other ways to do stuff. Irrel, Beacon of Hope. Get 3 different Librams. Absolutely. I want this because the main reason I played Libram for as long as I did is because of the old Irrel card. Which is, there's a term for the deck, and I don't know what it actually is. I've only ever known it as Racist Paladin, which is just if your deck has no neutral cards. So if your deck doesn't have cards that are not Paladin, then it gains a bunch of additional effects. And this one gets Rush, Lifesteal, Taunt, Divine Shield, which is fantastic for its stat line. This one, get 3 random different Librams. These will be Dark Moon Fair Librams, which won't matter because I'll be running it in Wild anyway, so I'll just be getting 3 Librams. 3 Librams for 5 when it dies, and it's Rush as well, so it's Rush with 3 health. So it's going to die the turn you play it, and you're going to get 3 Librams. It'll probably cost nothing. Discover a Draenei. If you played an adjacent card this turn, discover another. Honestly, I'm only going to put this in bad because I don't think anybody's going to give the slightest fuck about Draenei in this set. Like, it's not a holy spell, so it doesn't work in Libram. It's also not a Libram, so it doesn't work in Libram. I think that this card has it had potential maybe, but I just don't think that they released it at the right time. I think they should have waited until there were more Draenei in the game. Because right now, like, just looking at this lineup, these will all be, it's like the exclusive club. These will be playing to one deck. This will just not even be looked at twice because it doesn't do what the Libram deck does. Draw 2, this is also Libram. Draw 2 minions if this costs 0, give them +2/+1. Fuck. Okay, so you just got to hope you don't draw your hero with it. Actually, that maybe makes sense to Stella slightly better. I'm just going to delete this. There. So they're going to have no meta. I mean, unless Libram somehow becomes meta. I mean, that's the thing, right? Is when Dark Moon Fair first came out, at least the version of it that I was running was beating meta decks. So maybe there's a chance that I mean, I don't think with this lineup it could have a meta. It could be in the meta, but I bet good money in Wild it will, because it's a control deck, and you've got all the elements to really, really grind the game out. Especially because of where is my other girl? I think it's Lanessa. No, it's not Lanessa. She's a paladin legendary. Cast each spell you cast. No, that's not the one at all. It's a paladin legendary rarity. I don't remember what set it is, so this is about to be annoying. I apologise for wasting time. Okay, it's quite a high cost one, so it'll be closer to the bottom. It is Lady Liadrin. Add a copy of each spell you cast on friendly characters this game to your hand. So basically, you play this, and you get basically 10 Librams back. That all probably at that point in the game cost nothing. Actually, that reminds me, I should really make a note to craft her. If I don't, let me make a note. Craft Lady Liadrin. Because back when I can't remember which one I don't have, but I had Liadrin, Lanessa, and Iril all in one deck, but one of them was in the core set. So there's one of those 3 I do not own anymore. But honestly, when it comes to this, Paladin have got the best gimmick going, bar none. Effectively. I don't think they're going to have any meta presence, but at the same time, who cares? They're going to be you're going to have a fun time if you're trying to play Paladin in this format. Right. Priest. Ascara, the next Draenei you play summons a copy of itself. I'm going to put this immediately in hard to determine. The problem with this is exactly the same problem I had with that mage spell that summons a board full of random Naga. Is that Naga have battle cries, broadly speaking, that relate around how many spells you've cast while you've been holding them. If Draenei are primarily battle cry related, which so far I think all the ones we've seen have been, then this is useless. Because yeah, it will summon another copy of itself, but at the same time, you won't get the benefit of the second one in the same way as you're getting a benefit of this. Unless the new Velen is good, because I think it's a neutral Velen. If it's not in here, it's definitely neutral. But there is a new Velen, and Velen is a Draenei. So if he has a passive effect or something that isn't that doesn't need to be triggered on play, then it could be good. But we'll wait and see. Right, so every minion's attack and health, so lower of the 2. It's a 0 mana spell. Now, there hasn't ever been a single 0 mana spell in Hearthstone that hasn't seen play. So by default, I have to put it in objectively good because I personally am not a fan of it, but at the same time, it's an interesting spell. Overzealous Healer, Death Rattle, restore 6 health to the enemy hero. Spell Burst, silence this minion. So this is going to be a 1 mana 3/3. This is I don't think it's going to see play in any priest. Like, I think it's going to see in play in a lot of priest decks, but I don't think it's going to see play in the main priest deck, whatever that is. Because obviously, you hard mulligan for this, you play it, and then you play the coin, and then you've got a 3/3 on turn 1, and like, not a lot really does well with getting rid of that specifically. So yeah. Unless, of course, you kill it before they get to silence it, but they're going to silence it to only play it because they're going to let you have the 6 health back. Anchorite. Whenever another minion is overhealed, give it that much extra health. I'm wondering how this will work in Overheal Priest. The one where you use Heartbreaker Hedonist. I mean, this is a gimmick in and of itself, like, because Overhealers... I suppose if Overheal Priest remains a meta deck, like, then this is good. If it somehow loses that, then it goes into gimmick. But it depends on what gets cycled out for Priest. Because I've seen a lot of people saying that Priests are going to have a shit format. What I'll do is I'll leave it in gimmick, just in case. Because, I mean, Overheal Priest is still a gimmick at heart. It's just a gimmick that got good. It's like Zoolock, which was a very, very early quote-unquote gimmick, which is basically just aggro. You play a lot of demons, but all the demons are very low cost, have very, like, they're well statted, like they're way overstatted for what they were at the time. So like Flame Imp is a 1 mana 3/2, which sounds ridiculous, except it does 3 damage to your own face on play. But it didn't matter because you're putting, like, if that you weren't ever trading with other opponents, you were just using it as a way to get very quick damage in on them, even at the risk of your own damage. I need to take a very short break. I'll be right back. Damn. Okay, that's oh. Alright. Well, I'll just wait until the outbreak's over to continue. I wasn't back in time to cancel that out. Hey. Guess I'm not entirely used to yapping yet. Again, it's about the same amount of time as well as last time, so maybe it's a consistent thing. Because most of my streams I'm used to sort of broadly speaking, not speaking, just sort of playing the games and not talking much until somebody interacts. It's gross. Oh, it'll pass. God, it's still 2 minutes of breaks. Jokes. Come on. Wait until the outbreak ends. Make sure nobody misses anything. I've got a message. $40. Didn't even catch that dust goal. Gross. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yay! Fuck. Sorry about that. I came back literally as the ad was starting. I completely missed the chance to close it off. Alright. Back to the patterning stuff. So next we have Kuari, the Light Beyond. Spellburst. Summon a random 3-cost minion. Holy spells don't remove this spellburst. So there are 2 Naru in this set. Both of them actually have signatures that are... honestly, I think Kaara's one is better than Kuari's. I kind of think this is bad. I don't like... So the reason I think this is bad is because I think that both of these should have been dual class. Or they should have swapped them. Like the Warlock one feels way more like a priest card, and the priest card feels way more like a Warlock card. Like obviously you'd have to swap their affinities, but summoning a small minion as a random free drop doesn't really do much in priest. Whereas the actually I think I'm gonna put this in trash. I don't think this card will ever see play because while it's repeatable, like in the I think they nerfed the way to reduce holy spells. Um, I don't think it's going to see play at all. I just think it's that bad. I don't think it's like the thing is the warlock one is really fucking good, and should definitely have been the priest one instead. I just don't know where summon a random 3-cost minion fits into this game at the moment. Like there might be maybe in druid, but I don't see why druid would have a Naru unless they're going to give them all one. I did also ask on I don't know if the guy's actually like a Hearthstone dev or something, but I'm in the hope that it means like Kuari and Kaara getting a signature rare will also mean that Mida will also get a signature rare at some point in the future. Light speed, give a minion +1, +2, and rush. Oh, it's Horus. Give a minion +1, +2, and rush. Repeatable this turn. I don't think this is going to be used in any priest deck. The way I see priest decks is that they're a control. They're not aggro, so giving minions rush doesn't feel very much like a priest thing to do. Yeah, if that, I mean, obviously it won't really make sense, but it feels against. When Hearthstone first came out, and then for quite a long time afterwards as well, they made this whole big deal about class identity of each class, and obviously, as you can probably imagine, a priest is more, healing and shit. And like, yeah, okay, I get that they've deviated quite far from. Oh, the music came back. And they've deviated quite far from that, but at the same time, this is like extreme deviation. I really, really just don't think this card is going to see play in. There's probably an argument that could be made for some decks to run it, but I don't know what those decks are. I personally will not be ever running it. Shield of Ascara, Taunt Divine Shield Lifesteal. This makes Ascara good, except it costs 6, so you're not going to be playing that at the same time. But like, so next Draenor you play someone's a copy of itself, now becomes good because a Shield of Ascara is good. And that's because it doesn't. It's passive. Everything about that card is a passive. So it goes into objectively good because it is a Taunt Divine Shield Lifesteal, and with that stat line, that's pretty strong. And usually you're going to be playing it after Ascara anyway, so you're getting 2 of those for the price of 1. Mystified Tokar. Okay, this card is trash. No, this card is a gimmick. This card is not a real card that will ever see play. If combined health of both heroes is 42, set your hero's health to 42. This is not a serious card. This feels like a joke card because you'll never be able to manage the game state specifically such that the health will guaranteed be at 42. I don't think. There might be a way to do it, but I don't imagine it being like a real thing. I think it's just 100% a gimmick. Orbital Halo. Give a minion +2/+1 Divine Shield. This is better than this. Because Divine Shield is relatively within what a priest would do. And I'm going to put this back in hard. I'm going to put this in hard to determine. Because this is entirely dependent on if Overheal Priest survives the cycling out of archetypes, basically based on what cards get removed from standard. Cost 0, like +2/+1 Divine Shield is pretty strong. Even if you can only do it once that turn, that's still really strong. And finally, Divine Star, deal 3 damage, give a random minion on a hand +3 health. I don't really see this being played. I think this is... The problem is I think it's bad. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in bad. I don't think there's anything good about this card. Dealing 3 damage for 2 can be done better already by a priest with 3 damage with lifesteal. I can't remember the name of it. 3 damage isn't really a lot, considering a lot of things still have 4 health. Give a random minion, like giving a minion in your hand +3 health is kind of irrelevant, considering that, you don't want to be banking on the requirement that you can give another minion that health in hand. That's just my sort of thoughts on that exactly. Alright. So glad I get to cut out the interlude later. Okay, Rogue, a class that is my least played. Alright, Barrel Roll. Deal 5 damage to an undamaged character, costs 1 if you're building a starship. I think this is bad. There's a Shadow Strike I mean, if you're building a starship, do you want to build a starship? Um, Problem is I don't want to put in objectively good because it's still to an undamaged minion. I'm gonna put it like here. Yes, for now. We'll work it out later. Gravitational displacer. When it is launched, summon a copy of the starship. Okay, well that's is that meta defining? I'm gonna put it here. It's entirely possible that Rogue might have a meta starship, depending on what the other piece is, because that could make this really good. And obviously, we don't know if there are neutral ones either yet. Well, I personally don't. So, combo and spell burst gain +2 attack and stealth. I don't think this is gonna matter at all. I think this is garbage that we'll never see play. I think that at this point in the game, stealth is a bit too late, and as well as combo. I think they got like, I think I remember somebody saying that they got like 5 different combo enablers and only 1 combo card. That must be this. Also, why does Rogue suddenly have demons? Like, in the last expansion, they got mechs that are better than every class in the entire game. In the Voltron, the Mimiron, and the Coppertail and the Spider. So now they're getting demons, but this is not a very good one. 2 mana 3/3 is not really a great stat line. A 5 mana, a 2 mana 5/3 is still not brilliant. Like, it will kill something. I suppose the best case scenario, what you could do is combo it out and then actually no, you still. No, I think it's just trash. I can't think of a good reason. I was trying to think of a situation where you combo it out and then you attack with it, it loses stealth, and then you use the spell burst to give it more stealth when it's got 5 attack instead, and then you can sort of get around that. But like, there's a lot of AoE. Like, this is not as hard to get rid of as people probably think it is. Lucky comment: discover a combo minion. Next one you play triggers its combo twice. This is. I'm gonna just put this in gimmick. Honestly, like, I don't know what combo does at the moment, or if anything. Like, I don't think it's a real deck. It's the same as me saying before with Druid. Like, I don't think they have a token minion deck, but then again, I don't really play at the highest possible level, so that doesn't really matter. But I don't see combo being the rogue deck that's gonna like take the world by storm. It's still probably gonna be just mechs, because the rogue mech deck is fucking mental. All right, Tolgarth. Undamaged enemy minions take double damage. Combo get a backstab. This is a gimmick. It's not really that good, but at the same time, it's not really that bad. It's kind of similar to the Moarg Artificer, where everything takes double damage from spells or some shit, but it's only for undamaged minions, and it gives you a backstab, which is a 0 mana spell. So on 4, you can kill a 4 health minion, but that's about it. That's all it does. It's not really a good card in my opinion. It would be funny in a gimmick deck. I just don't see it being played in any real decks. Deal 3 damage to a minion. Reduce the cost of combo cards in your hand by 1. Again, gimmick. We have the problem where not knowing whether combo is good or not right now in the meta, or at all, is kind of throwing off my knowledge base. Because obviously, like, if I don't know if combo is doing well in the game right now, because I haven't really seen because the main deck for Rogue is mech and they have no combo cards, so I don't really see it as being a valuable keyword right now. Battle Cry on X combo can't cost 1 less. Again, gimmick. Like, it's cool that it costs 1. You can get a Defias out on it with a coin. I just don't think that's not very good. Get a random starship piece from another class. Okay, yeah. So 100%. 100%. The meta deck for Rogue this season will be Starship, and it'll probably just be added to some other deck. But I reckon that's really strong, because that's like, it's giving you access to stuff that you wouldn't normally have access to. Discover it. Yep, absolutely. Yep, Starship schematic. So is this going to be another thing where we got a common, a rare, an epic, and a legendary all in the meta defining? Let's see. Shuffle your hand in your deck, reduce the cost of cards in your deck by 3. This card is objectively good. In fact, it is fucking bonkers, but I don't think anybody's going to play it because it's very similar to like it's very similar to can't remember the name. There's a mage spell, cost 4, reduces the cost of spells in the deck by 1. You can play 2 of those. So by the time you play both of these, your entire deck costs 6 less. But like, I mean, if you get both of them and then you cast them turn 6 and turn 7 specifically, then that's like, if you, so yeah, it shuffles your hand into your deck and you don't get it back either. So you play this, like, we're talking best case scenario, turn 6 you play this, you've already got like at least some kind of taunt on the board or something, maybe a Starship up. You play this, your hand gets shuffled into your deck. Next turn you draw 1 and it's second Quasar, and you play that. Now your entire deck costs 6 less, which when it comes to Rogue means every card in your deck now costs 0. You know what? This might be the reason people stop playing Sprint again. Sprint, it used to be a 7 mana draw 4 for Rogue. I don't know if it's still in. I don't know if it's part of the core set right now, but if it is, then it will see play because it's a 1 mana draw 4, and you literally just win from there because like when everything costs 0 and your highest cost card is 1, yeah, you ain't gonna be losing very quickly from there. Right. Rogue. Atlee meets Shaman next, I believe. Yeah, okie dokie. Farseer Abundu. Open the galaxy's lens, it absorbs the power of the next spell you cast. Farseer Abundu. What does that exactly, what does that mean? Okay. Trade coin, wish upon a star. Players on turn 5, then coin next turn for an 8 mana play on 6. So you need to summon Farseer, let him die to summon the galaxy's lens. Then have a big spell ready in order to maximize effect. Don't get all this. You want to be a big spell, having minions survive is harder than having a location survive. Explain. So I'm guessing it's a Galaxy's Lens. I'm guessing. Right, so whatever the spell you cast after this is put into play, it becomes that spell but twice. I'm just trying to think if there's any Druid spell that, Shaman spell that I would want it to specifically. I mean, like that guy said, it would have to be something big to be like particularly valuable. I think that this is a hard to determine. I reckon if you put the right spell in it, it can be exceptionally powerful. But like a lot of people on that Reddit thread were saying, you know, get the Galaxy's Lens, coin concede, because you've just played the coin, and therefore the location it plays is just going to copy the coin twice instead, which is 0 mana spell. So you probably want something big that you're cheating out. Right. Murmur, your battlecry minions cost 1, but immediately die after being played. This is a gimmick. I was talking about this on Twitter the other day because I saw this. So the reason I think this is broken, is insane, is because so Shaman also has a card called Shudder Block. Shudder. Oh, what have I done? Oh, it's wild. There you go, Shudder Block. Your next battle cry triggers 3 times, but can't damage the enemy hero. Right, so the way that I see this working out is you play this, and then you play Lorthamartha on, double the stats of all minions in your deck. So it doesn't just double them once, it doubles them 3 times. And then you play, I believe it's Jeweled Macaw, I'm not sure. No, Brilliant Macaw. Repeat the last battle cry, so doubles their attack a 4th time. And then you play Shudder Walk, which repeats all the battle cries you played this game, which doubles them 2 more times over. And basically, even in the worst case scenario, if you're having a 1-1 in your deck, that 1-1 is now like a 64-64 or bigger. There are probably ways to abuse this. This is a gimmick because I 100% see this as a card that people are going to try and absolutely break in their most hilarious way possible. There probably won't be compilations in the same way as Yogg-Saron, but I can see there being an argument for this card being in that same sort of meme territory, where it will be a challenge to see what the most ridiculous combo you can pull off with it is. Honestly, I fucking love the idea of that though. I'm here for it. Meteor Storm, deal 5 damage to all minions, shuffle 5 asteroids into your deck. If I remember rightly, the asteroids when draw deal 2 damage to everything. Let me just see. Meteor Storm. Oh shit. What does it cost? Oh, 6. Yeah, Meteor Storm. And the asteroid, deal 2 damage to a random enemy, cast when drawn. Okay, so it's just one random. It has an agent tag. I think it's... The thing is its initial effect is really strong. I just don't think the asteroids are good. So I'll put it in here. I don't think it will be seen in like any serious meta deck or anything, no. The next Draenei you play costs 2 less, but has overload 2. So you front load 2 mana's worth of the cost onto the turn after. I mean, it's interesting, but I don't see why you'd overload yourself that way. I'm trying to work out what the benefit of this card is. I think I'm going to put it in hard to determine. Because obviously this card is highly dependent on what other Draenei there are, and if the other Draenei are good. I wouldn't say Farseer is value for this. Summon 2/1 random 1-cost minions, garbage. This would be good in Paladin. It is good in Paladin. And even then it's only good in Paladin because the Paladin version of this puts 2 1/1s into your hand and you hand buff them. This doesn't have that benefit. Let me turn that spray thing down. It's done quite enough for one evening. Triangulate. Discover a different spell from your deck. Drop 3 copies of it into your deck. I think... Okay, here's my prediction. This card is going to be ridiculous. I don't know what it will be good in, because I don't know what the Shaman... Like, I only have 2 Shaman decks, and one of them is Totems. But I think that this is going to... There is going to be something that makes this card ridiculously broken. Like, it doesn't have to be from this set, but there is going to be a reason this card is insane. I would probably run this personally in a deck where I use like Jive Insect, which turns a minion into Ragnaros the Firelord for 5 mana. I think this is. I think there's something to this card. It's It's too well designed to not ever see play. I think that somebody is going to break this card completely. Ultraviolet Breaker, deal 3 damage to an enemy minion, shuffle 3 more asteroids into your deck. Alright, I'm just going to put this here. I think there's going to be a gimmick, but honestly I don't care enough about the gimmick because it's just have some asteroids. It's like playing Helldivers when you're on those planets where you got a meteor storm. It's like it does nothing. Mostly. Or like as I found out the other day when I think I was streaming or might have just been recording, the asteroids in Helldivers can take out bot bases. Discover 2 8-cost minions to summon with Taunt and Elusive. This is ridiculous. This is extremely strong. There's a mage spell that summons, I think it's 2 6 costs and gives them Taunt, Divine Shield, or it might be Paladin that does it. But Taunt and Elusive it means you've got 2 minions that are fucking hard to get rid of, especially because 8 costs, generally speaking, have a lot of health. Like, I mean, on 8 you're looking at stuff like Ragnaros the Firelord, which, like, imagine getting a fucking Ragnaros the Firelord off that. That'd be ridiculous. Right, discover a spell from your deck, reduces cost by 5. This is going to be a big deal. I don't know what spell it's going to reduce by 5, but this is going to be a big fucking deal. Like, just that reduces cost by 5 is just ridiculously good. And a Bolide Behemoth. Your asteroids deal 1 more damage this game. Okay, so they're trying to do Incendious. There's a legendary that came out, I don't know if it was the last expansion or the expansion before, called Incendious, and let me just double check to make sure. At the end of your turn, upgrade your options. Shuffle 5 with options into your deck. They deal 1 damage to all enemies when drawn, and it upgrades every single turn. So basically they're doing their... What set was that? That was Badlands, maybe? Perils. So that was actually literally the last set. So they're literally they're taking a legendary from literally the last set and making common cards that have its effect, basically. Which is a little bit insulting. I always hate when they do that, like where they take a legendary and then they give its effects to non-legendaries. All right, so Warlock. This is the class that I'm most excited for, besides Paladins. Although Paladins with gimmicks is for like maybe serious shit, depending on how invested I get in this season. Right, so Heart of the Legion, Lifesteal Starship Piece. I'm going to put this in objectively bad. I don't like any Starship pieces that do, like, literally nothing when you play them. This can be dealt with a spell as well, so I'm just going to put it in bad. Spellfire Thrusters. Deal this minion's attack damage to 2 random enemy minions. Starship piece, so Spell Burst, so that's not bad. Compared to this one, anyway. Right, Infernal Stratagem, give a minion 3/3. If it's a demon, your next one costs 3 less. This is a bit insanely good, maybe? No, hold on, that's... So, your next demon costs 2 less. So you're obviously going to be playing this exclusively in a demonology deck. So I guess arguably that makes it a gimmick card. Yeah, I think that's probably the best way to rate this card. Because I'm going to put this as a gimmick card. I don't think it's bad. I just don't think that... I mean, demons are going to be pretty big because of the... I think it's not Tichondrius. Is it Archimond? I think it's Archimond. There's a demon in this set that is basically fucking insane. Probably one of the coolest cards at half like that Blizzard have ever printed or put into the game. But I don't know if it's going to be a serious like meta threat deck. So that's the only reason I'm putting it there. But I do like it. 0 mana spell, restore all damage your hero has taken this turn. This will never be seen in standard. It will be exclusively used in wild, and it will be used exclusively in Demon Seed. Oh, actually, no. Hold on. It gets better than that. So there's a Blood Treant. No, because that's not damage. That's paid. It doesn't matter. Get a random demon. Reduce its cost by 2. So it's get 5 random demons on turn 10 that cost 2 less. Again, I'm going to put this in gimmick. I think demonology has always just been a gimmick. I don't think it's ever really. I mean, you could argue that there is like Zulok, which has a lot of demons, but you didn't run demons in Zulok because they were demons. You ran them because they were high statted for their costs and like were generally good value minions. It's got Aura, the Dark Star. Steal 2 health from a random enemy. Shadow spells don't remove the spell burst. See, this is the one I think should have been a priest card. Because there's literally a priest spell called Shadow Word Devour that steals 1 health from every other minion on the board and gives it to the minion you target with there. So like it could be funny, like, but I don't think it's going to be I think that much like with Kuare, the priest one, I think the problem is they're the wrong class for their effects. I think that the alternative, of course, is that in a mini set they could have released these two, but as dual class, because priest and warlock already have some pretty good dual priest warlock cards. So I'd say that probably would have been a better use for them. I just don't think that right now that's. I think it's hard to say that this would be like I can see it being used in warlock, unlike the priest one, which I can't see being used in in any deck like outside of like I need a 30th card. I think that this is way harder to validate in any real. I think it's less hard to validate than the other one, but at the same time, I think that it's a priest card, in the wrong class basically. Maybe I need to like that's the thing is I haven't ever really played World of Warcraft, which might be shocking to some, but like if I do, I want to play a Shadow Priest because I think that's cool and edgy. Arc Command. Oh, okay, it's not Arc Command I'm thinking of. Summon every demon you played this game didn't start in your deck. This is going to be, like I said, the gimmick. In Wild, you play this with Blood Reaver Gul'dan, and you just make your opponent hate you their entire life, but also you, because they will hate you for playing this in Blood Reaver Gul'dan. Bad Omen. In 2 turns, summon 2 6/6 demons with Taunt. I mean, this is fine. The problem with it is I think it's I'm going to put this in hard to determine as well because I think it's in the wrong class. This is a Demon Hunter card. Demon Hunter card class has a bunch of sigils, which are cards that you literally can't interact with, which makes them bullshit. But they are at the start of your next turn, at the start of your next turn, at the start of your next turn, blah blah blah. You see what I mean? At the start of your next turn. It's a Demon Hunter card trait, it's not a Warlock thing. So again, it's kind of weird that it seems, and I mean technically, yeah, Druid does have some of it as well with the Blossom stuff, but it doesn't belong in Warlock. Summoning 2 6/6s with Taunt is kind of good, but it's just in the wrong class, in my opinion. Foreboding Flame, demons that didn't start in your deck cost 1 less this game. This is going to be meta defining. It's going to be part of this package, but because of the big neutral that we'll be getting to soon, this card is absolutely fucking insane. I saw I can't remember who Day9 was playing against, but Day9 was playing against somebody with the Warlock, with the Demonology Warlock deck, and this card is insane in that. And then finally, their hateful reminder that Twisting never exists. Destroy minions except demons. It's good. And it'll be played in every stall deck, but it's not a good deck. It's not really that good. I mean, it is good because it wipes everything out there in the demon, but it's annoying because the card literally already exists. I want that Sneasel. Right, Warrior. The next Draenei you play gives your hero its attack for that turn. Okay, well I'll put this here until we see what the Draenei of this class are. Obviously, it also gets better if there is a good, like, neutral Draenei. I mean, what's the best case scenario here? Like, anything over 3 attack is good. Anything less than that and it's bad. That's the way I'm gonna value this. Captain's Log, draw 2 cards, cost 1 less for each Draenei you control. I'm gonna put that as trash. Reason being is because Captain's Log, pirates. It should be for pirates. As if they don't. It's like they're already basically one of the most dominant wild decks, but at the same time, it's not a good Draenei card unless there's like a lot of really good Drain. I'm gonna put it here actually. Unless there's like, the thing is so unless there's let's say 5 Draenei, right? So you can be running 10. Unless there's like 5 good Draenei, this card is bad. Speaking of which, the next Draenei you play from about immediately attacks a random enemy. Is Warrior just going to be like the class of fucking Draenei? I mean, that's not terrible, but it depends on what the next Draenei is, and as long as the battle cry triggers first, come on. Okay, Demon, battle cry, spell burst, and death rattle deal 2 damage to all other minions. Where does this fit? I'm trying to figure out this. This seems, on paper it's good because it's like 6 damage. Right, to everything else on play. I mean, it's a good oh shit button, and an amazing counter to the crewmates mechanic, I suppose. Actually, I'm going to put it there. I'm going to put it in objectively good. I think that the ability to counter the adventure, I keep calling it adventure mechanic, the crewmate mechanic, is going to be fantastic. So I think, and this is pretty much the only way I've seen to do that so far. Jettison, discover a spell, spend 2 armor to discover another. Holy fuck, that's good. The question is, do I put that in meta? Spend 2 armor. I mean, is Odin still the best warrior deck? Because if it is, this card is fucking insane. If Odin isn't the best warrior deck in standard, then this isn't that good. Actually, it's still good. Because basically you're paying 4 mana to discover 2 spells. I'm leaving it in meta defining because honestly I think Odin Warrior doesn't cycle out. Hold on, let me see. What sets are in standard Hearthstone? Because it'll be the bottom set that drops off. Oh no, this is stupid. Hearthstone standard. Please don't tell me I'm gonna have to do this. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it where it is. I don't want to have to open Hearthstone and find out. But basically, whatever the last set. Actually, I can do it on my phone. 1 second. Let me open it on my phone because I can. Good shit. So basically, the last set in the current rotation will be the. I think that's the set that cycles out. Oh well, I don't have a lot of battery. So give me 1 second and I'll find out. Oh shit, it's nearly midnight. So I need collection. I need classes. No, it's, oh, hold on. Filters. Okay, so the set that gets cycled out is Festival of Legends. And Odin was Titans. So, yeah, I guess it's still in. So Jettison is good. In fact, you'll just be added to Odin. If your hero attacks, give all Draenei in your hand +2 attack. Eh. We still need like 3 more Draenei. Fill your board with random 2-cost minions at a time. Okay, I hate cards like this. This is bad. This is just garbage. Pay 10 mana to do basically nothing. Like, you might win a game with this, and I bet there's going to be an achievement for winning a game with this, but it's a shit card. Paying 10 mana for effectively 14 of stats, like say the average stat line. No, let's be a bit more. Let's be a bit more forgiving. You get 14/21 of stats, and best case scenario, your opponent's board is completely empty, and they've already taken some damage, and you win. I think that's literally the only good scenario for this card. Everything else is basically garbage, unless you get like a lot of taunts or a lot of spell damage, and even then spell damage doesn't do much. Yeah, I think this card is just straight up fucking awful. Right. Spore Empress Moldara. Shuffle 7 replicating spores into your deck. Moldara. What is a replicating spore precisely? Summon a random 5-cost minion. Your future replicating spores summon it as well. Jesus, that's fucking broken. So you're shuffling. Jeez. Okay, so you're shuffling 5 of these into your deck. Also at the start of the game, so you can't be running a Highlander realistically. So if you're running a warrior legendary only deck, you can't run Zephyrus or Reno, anything like that. And it summons a random 5-drop for 5, but also the second time you play it, it summons a random 5-drop plus the 5-drop you played in the first instance. I think this is going to go into a gimmick. I don't think this is going to see play, but again, this is another one of those cards I'm going to look into the statistical chances of it being good. Actually, I'm going to do that for Dwarf Planet as well. Stuff like this, I'm going to look into. Like, I've got until November 5th anyway, so I want to like decide whether these are good. This is good. No, like, you see, there's stuff like this that is maybe good because there are a lot of shit 5-drops. There's a lot of shit 2-drops, like a lot of 2-drops are 1/1s or 0/2s. Meanwhile, discover a spell, so you're choosing between 1 of 3, but you're doing it twice, which is fantastic for 2 mana because you're not just drawing 2 spells, you're drawing 2 very specific cards, and you can base what you draw entirely on the game state at the time. Whereas with these two, it's entirely RNG. Whereas this is fucking insane. This is absolute garbage. And finally, Exarch Karma. After this attacks, all other friendly minions can attack again except itself. I don't think this is good. I think this is, honestly, I'm going to put this in objectively good because at the end of the day, even though it's not brilliant, it's still a 2-mana 2/2 weapon. And like, you can buff weapons, but also it still does give buffs to minions in your hands. But at the same time, I think Exarch Karma makes everything kind of worse. No, hold on. Hold on. So what you want to do is Expedition Sergeant into Exarch Karma, so that the Exarch Karma attacks immediately, and then no, that's bad. Because what you want is to attack before your Draenei, then attack with Exarch Karma, and then attack with your other stuff again. So far, the best target for Unyielding Vindicator is literally Unyielding Vindicator. But saying that, Expedition Sergeant and Exarch Karma both also have 3, which I did say is about the average. This is going to stay in hard to determine because we need to see 2. I need to see 2 more remotely good Draenei in neutrals before I can determine if it's actually good or not, in my own opinion. Shit. See, these cards are not actually bad, they're just mid as fuck. Like, they're not, like... I don't think they're strong enough to carry a whole Draenei deck on their own. And I think that's the main weakness of this, is that they're good, but they're not good enough. I don't see there being, for example, any... I honestly don't think there's going to be any, like, meta-defining Draenei deck. And I think that's made worse by Exarch Karma being as bad as it is. Like, because I think it's... what's the card? I think it's Pirate that gives all your pirates charge. I think it's Mr. Smite. Smite? Yeah, your pirates have charge. And they could have done this basically for Exarch Karma. Like, whereas all your Draenei get to attack on the turn they're played. But it's after it attacks. I suppose the worst case, like the way I can imagine this playing out is you wait until you're on turn 8. You play no, because that's still bad. You attack with all your minions, then you play Expedition Sergeant, then you play Exarch Karma, which attacks immediately. Like, I feel like this is I feel like it's a win more card. Like, if you're already in a winning position, then you're just gonna win more. If you're not in a winning position, it's literally like just the worst card you can possibly hope to top deck. So I think this is bad. I think there is just like no argument where Exarch Karma is really a good card. I could be wrong. It could be just entirely on my lack of meta knowledge or whatever, but I don't think Exarch Karma is good. I think these two have the potential to be good based on whatever other neutral Draenei there are. But I think that this card on its own brings down Draenei as a tribe in the game. Because it's too slow. It doesn't benefit you as soon as you play it, which a legendary really kind of should. Also, I think that warrior. How many classes have trash cards? 2, 3. Actually, most of them did. Okay, fair enough. I was going to say I don't think there's many classes where I've had a objectively trash card, but I would be wrong. All right, let's move to neutrals. There you go. Right, neutrals. Nearly at the finish line, and it's only just hit midnight. Fuck. Alright. Galactic Crusader, get 2 random holy spells, they cost 3 less when it dies. 7 mana, 3/9. That's a weird stat. I don't hate it though. It's weird that they're throwing a lot more holy spells in. Like last set, there was a forge. No. What was the forge card? There was a forge card where you your hero gains 6 health and get a random holy spell. Its stat line is good, its cost is bad. I think this is objectively bad. Like, getting 2 holy spells that cost 3 less, I don't think is going to be enough to validate the cost of it. I think there's 7 mana for... Like, the stat line is fine, because I think Secret Crusade... No, there was, Blackguard. Is that the card? Yeah, Blackguard was the other card to have a 3/9 stat line. I don't think there's any other card. Besides Void Lord, I don't think there's any other card. No. One of your heroes healed, deal that much damage, and it costs less. So yeah, I don't think that this is good. I think that the taunt is nice, but for 7 mana, it doesn't give you enough of a benefit immediately. Like Void Lord gives you 3/1/3s, and Blackguard has a passive. I think this is just not that good. Alright, Astrobiologist. At the start of your turn, discover a spell. Oh, at the start of your next turn, discover a spell. I don't think this is good. Actually, I think Galactic Crusader might be trash, and this is just objectively bad. Like, waiting until your next turn to get a spell when there are cards that cost less that give you a spell immediately kind of makes it bad. I mean, it's got the Draenei Tribe choice, but then again, oh, it's this. Kill data and replace your deck with an entire port, with an endless portal of demons. Each turn they gain an additional 2/2. This is the demon. This is the big fuck. This is a big dick energy demon. This is gonna be the meta definer. This is either gonna warp the meta completely, like it's gonna warp the game completely, or it's gonna do absolutely fucking nothing. Because so you can no longer fatigue while you have this, and every single turn you live after this is played is just punishing your opponent again and again, because your entire deck just becomes random demons, which sounds bad, but so let's get out there's I think it's Void Walker. Yeah, there you go, Void Walker, 1/3 with taunt. Right, say you survive 10 turns after playing our boy Kil'jaeden there. Right, this is a 21/23 if you randomly draw it on turn 10 after playing that. Upside, it's also a battle cry, so you can't cheat it out. I love the idea of this. This card is so fucking mental. Like, again, it's like whatever the other card I was talking about earlier, where it's like a completely unique effect. Like, we've never had a card that just goes, guess what, your deck doesn't matter anymore. Like, it's close, it's similar to Renounced Darkness, or alternatively Announced Darkness. But it's just hilariously, like, the thing is like I said, this deck is either gonna do something incredible, or it's not gonna do anything at all. I will obviously be playing a Demonologist deck. I'll be returning to my roots from the very early days of the game, where I actually like religiously played Demonology, because I love the idea of this. Ethereal Oracle, spell damage +1, spell burst, draw 2 spells. Objectively good. Draw 2 is a 3 mana ability anyway, basically. So you're paying minimum 3, basically, but at the same time it's also got spell damage attached to it, which we ain't seen for a while. But it's draw 2 spells. That's the only thing you're playing this for. You're drawing 2 spells off it, which is really strong. Because it's not just draw 2 cards, it's draw 2 specific types of cards. It's like the way my Zigzor deck works, is I'm always trying to find ways to expedient the process of drawing specifically beasts or specifically Zigzors. Use place a Curator. Get around a minion of the spell's cost. Set its cost to 0. So you cast a 10 spell, a 10 cost spell. You get a 10 cost minion that costs 0. Usually that will not be the case though. I'm going to put this in objectively bad. I don't think that. I don't think it's actually. I'm going to put it in hard to determine. I don't think it's bad. That's the problem. Is I just don't think. I think that the variance potential for it, like considering, like you cast, say you play this on turn 6, you cast a 3 mana spell, you get a random 3 mana minion, it costs 0. I just don't, but it's because it's all random. I don't think it's that as good as it. I don't know. I think it's. I don't think it's missing anything. I just think it is a very middle of the road minion. It just doesn't do anything that stands out specifically, but it's not bad at the same time. Perplexing, anonymously, rush, taunt, stealth? Question mark. So this is his set's rager. This is just straight up gimmick. This is a gimmick card. It doesn't. It's not going to see any play. It might see play in a rage deck. I don't know if anybody's built one of those yet. But yeah, that's where it'll see play, in Rager deck. What I might have to do is do these in sets of 10. Or maybe 12. We'll see how full it gets because there's only limited space on here. Yeah, I can choose that. Right, Starlight Wanderer next Draenor you play against 2-1. Objectively, pretty good. It's a 1 mana that buffs the next card you play. That is a Draenor, which is pretty strong on its own. I mean, if you're playing a dedicated Draenor deck, then it's a solid turn 1 play. It just depends on what you follow it up with. And even then, it doesn't matter too much because it gains 2-1. With that being the case, I'm just going to put this in objectively good, I think. Right, next up. Starscale Constellar, double this minion's attack. This card is never going to see play. This is just garbage. This is not. This is just absolutely trash. A 5 mana 8/7 sounds good, and I mean the stat line is pretty good, but it's too much investment for a minion that doesn't really matter that much. It's not going to see play. Doom Maiden, draw a card from your deck, opponent's deck. If you don't play this turn, put it back. This is a gimmick. I love this kind of gimmick. It's funny, but it's a gimmick. That's actually hilarious. And it's a demon as well. Space Pirate, your next weapon costs 1 less. I mean, it's just... Yeah, it'll be played in literally one deck, and that one deck is Pirate Warrior. There is no other deck worth playing it in, basically. Maybe King's Bane. Oh no, it's a Death Rattle. It's bad. It's bad. If it was fast, it would be good. It's because it's a Death Rattle that it's bad. If this was Battle Cry, your next weapon costs 1 less, it would be incredible. It's because it's a Death Rattle. It's not. Next Draenor you play gains +2 health and rush. Nope. Actually, yeah, just rush. Objectively good. Okay, so Akama has just become slightly better. Like, that's the thing, is every above average or even just average Draenor that comes up in neutrals now is a direct buff to Akama or a direct nerf to Draenor as a tribe, basically, and like being able to like give it that attack. But even then, you have to specifically play. You have to specifically play Exarch Akama after this. Actually, no, it's not too bad. It makes Exarch Akama better. Like, every good Draenor in neutral makes it better. It just so happens that the two that exist in Warrior already are good in a vacuum, just not good specifically for Exarch Akama. This, however, is very good for Exarch. Cost 1 less for each adjacent card played while in hand. I love the idea of this. I think it's a gimmick, but I love the idea of it. I don't think it's like objectively very good or bad. It's just it's going to be seen play in exclusively Demon Hunter, because they've got the outcast stuff as well as moving shit around. Imagine this gets stuck between the 2 star pieces that force a flame strike. That'd be awful. Right. Star Volpera, tradable. Destroy an enemy starship or starship piece. This is going to be meta defining, and it's not going to be meta defining. It's going to be anti-meta defining. It's going to be like any horde operatives or destroy secrets. It's going to be one of those cards that exist specifically to counter starships. Unfortunately, most of the starships are not actually that good, from what I understand and from my very limited perspective of them. So this card on its own is also not very good, but everybody will be trying them, so it's worth having one. It's like having a plate breaker, just in case you run into Odin Warrior. Lunar Trailblazer, set the cost of a random spell in your hand to this minion's cost, so set a random spell to... It's just bad. Most spells that you want to play anywhere near 5 do not cost 5 mana. They're usually less. Like most spells that are being played at the moment they cost less than 5, so you're arguably basically, if you only run high cost spells, this is good. If you run anything that will cost less than it, it's bad. So it's just bad. Divine Shield Starship piece. Okay, so there are neutral starship pieces. How far in are we right now? We are 14. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to delete this and I'm going to put this into neutral 1. So it'll probably be 3 neutrals. Just because of how many cards there are to go through right now. Neutral has 35 different cards. Okay, so Dimensional Core, Divine Shield Starship piece. Giving Divine Shield to, basically anything, anywhere where I've said that the Starship pieces are good, this is good. Anywhere else is bad. Honestly, I'm going to put this hard to determine because like 50% of the time it's going to be... I mean, Divine Shield is fine. But at the same time, I don't know what happens if a starship piece gets silenced. That's something I'll have to test. So if a starship gets silenced, does it go dormant or does it just... It's like pendulum cards in Yu-Gi-Oh! They go to the extra deck when they're destroyed, but if they are sent in a different way, they can end up in the graveyard. It's very rare that a pendulum monster will end up in the graveyard, but I'm waiting. I'll test it with Alex. But yeah, like basically, this is good if your starship is good. If your starship is bad, this is bad. This is worse. Relentless Graveguard, deal 2 damage to an enemy minion. If it dies, discover a demon. Ooh, ooh. I like that. It reminds me of Bane of Doom, I think it was. It's a Warlock 5 mana spell, and it deals 4 damage. I do like this card already. I think it's Bane of Doom. Yeah, deal 3 damage. If that kills it, summon a random demon. Very similar. I like the cost. I like that it comes with a 4/2 weapon. It's the same as like Felsteel Executioner. I really like this card. I hope it doesn't see play because I want to play it. Where does it go though? I don't think it's going to be meta defining. It's going to be probably meta defining if the if Demonology Warlock becomes a meta deck, which I doubt it will. But I also don't think it's objectively like a really fucking strong card because 2 damage might not be enough. I think I just put it here and hard to determine because 2 damage is very low. I mean, it's perfect amount of damage for the cost of the card and what else the card does. I just don't think it's enough damage to put it into like a really good tier. Right. The Exodar. If you're building a starship, launch it and choose a protocol. Okay, what is a protocol? The Exile's Hope. Oh, okay. Gain armor equal to the starship self twice. Deal damage equal to that. Randomly split between all enemies. Get copies of all the starship pieces that cost so much. Okay, so this is a objectively good card. Mainly because, and it's again sort of in the same area as Dimensional, is that it is good if your starship is good. If your starship is bad, it's bad. I mean, even then, it's a fixer, I'd say. Holy shit, an Alakazam. I think this is actually better than objectively good, but below meta defining. Because even if your starship is wank, this fixes that problem because the three protocols it has are all pretty good. I mean, I would always go for the one where it adds all the pieces back and makes them cost one. But at the same time, like, even the gaining armor is ridiculous. So, yeah, I like it. I think this is good. It's somewhere between here and here. Because it is objectively good, but it's not. I don't know if starships are going to be meta. So, Divine Shield, Spell Burst, Draw a Draenei. I think this is bad, but only. How much value can be placed on draw a very specific card? Honestly, 2 mana with Divine Shield. Hold on. Woohoo! I caught the Alakazam. Ah, shit. It's the same thing as last time, by the way. It's just like, probably just from talking for longer than I'm used to just generally talking for. It's something I'll have to keep in mind, because the videos I want to make soon will require a lot of yapping. So I might have to do that in bursts. Just holy fuck, this is not promising if I want to be a full-time streamer now, is it? Yeah, I'd say Trouble Mechanic is good. 2-1 with a Divine Shield. Like, even if you just ignore his spell burst, it's still good because Shielded Minibot, which was a 2-2 with Divine Shield, for Paladin was literally like considered the strongest 2-drop in the game since Keleseth, and like it's still considered a pretty good 2-drop, I believe. Big Daddy Ceaseless Expanse. Cost 1 less for each time a card was drawn, played, or destroyed. Battlecry destroy all other minions. This is a gimmick. I don't think this is going to see serious play. I think that 15/15 nuke the board is not strong enough. I mean, Cthulhu was only meta for as long as it was because it was well statted and the damage was not symmetrical, and you could also apply taunt to it. I think that this is bad because it's highly dependent on how long the game. If you like, outside of the Holy Wrath gimmick of Holy Wrath is a paladin card that costs 5, where you draw a card and then you deal the mana cost as damage to whatever you point Holy Wrath at. And I think that's probably the only real gimmick. Like, I can't see this being used otherwise, realistically. I think it's just too much. I think it's just too high cost. Like, even if both you and your opponent draw all 40 cards out of your decks, that still costs 60. No, it doesn't. It costs 20. No, wait, hold on. Yeah, it costs 40 because that's minus 60. And I don't know if that counts the ones that will start in your hand either, so it could be less. It could still cost 50 if it doesn't count the ones that start in your hand. And I mean, there are obviously going to be ways to cheat the fuck out of this. Like, I mean, celestial alignment, set all costs to 0. Oh no, set all costs to 1, isn't it? Yeah, this is going to be a card that is not going to see any real play. It's going to be a gimmick. It's going to be a joke card that people are going to just cheat out. Other than that, I don't see it being a real threat to anything. Rush, do Death Rattle, do adjacent minions 1/1 and Rush. I think. So obviously it's immediately going to die, and the positioning needs to be specific to the point where you get the buffs given to the other minion. I want to say it's good, but I don't think it's going to see play, like, ever. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in good. Like, it's good if you can get the positioning right. It can be insane. I just don't think it's going to do enough. I personally don't believe it'll ever see play unless you like role-playing the pilot. Velen, Leader of the Exile, Taunt, Death Rattle, trigger the battle cries and Death Rattles. Yeah, this is going to be, if any Draenei deck makes it, it's going to be exclusively because Velen, Leader of the Exiled exists. There is going to be no other, like, it's not going to be for any other reason than this. That's my hot take. Light Fuse Mana Saber, Rush, gain Divine Shield and Spell Burst. I think this is... So it's just a 6/6 with Rush. I don't know what to do with this. Like this, it's a solid stat line, but it's not a good stat line. I don't really see it being run in any particular beast synergy. I think I'll put this in objectively bad as well. And I'm gonna put this in objectively bad. I don't think that it's good. Like in my head, I want to say it's good, but at the same time, it's like there's something else gnawing at me saying it's not good. What the fuck are you doing, man? It's not a good card. Alright, Astral Vigilant, get a copy of the last Draenei you played. This is a combo enabler, basically. Like, if you're playing Draenei, you play this card 100% because it's a 1-drop common. Crimson Commando. Give all Draenei in your hand. Fucking hand buffs, man. And it's got its own really good stat line as well. Basically, a lot of this just comes down to if Draenei do well, then every card that is a Draenei is good because they all buff each other. It's like a very large toolbox. But if they're not good, then they're very bad. Gain 6 armor. Wow, that's actually a really good starship piece. Okay. Taunt. 4 mana is a bit high. But like the value you get out of that is really strong. There's 6 armor already, plus you can Exodar it to get another minimum 8 armor. Okay. Ace Wayfinder, gain 2 random bonus effects next Draenei you play against them as well. Oh boy. Okay, hold on. Let me fix this quickly. I think that Exodar is going to be meta defining if like the starship pieces become good. And if they are Arcanite, it's going to be like the most used one, 100% because of the armor. Like your ship, if you can't have rush on it, like if you can't get it to do something on turn it's played, then you can damn sure put like taunt on it and protect yourself with it. Plus it gives you armor outside of like warrior class, so I'm gonna say that's where it belongs. And meanwhile, Ace Wayfinder. Can you line this back up, please? Is also an objectively good cast. I think that it's undercosted for what it does because keywords should be worth roughly 0.5 mana any each. Plus it's passing those buffs, so it should be like maybe a 7 cost considering what it does, especially considering the Velen. The fact that Velen exists makes it that much stronger. I haven't read Velen, I'll admit that much. I didn't know that existed before. Velen is like the biggest silence target in the world right now. Like, cause getting all those Battlecry Death Rattles again, especially if you got like if you're playing it in Priest with Zyrella. Let me see. What does Priest have in the way of Draenei? The Overheal one, and get a copy. Yeah, this will probably be played in Priest quite heavily because of Ascara. So Ascara will summon a second Velen, which will also benefit that. And that's it won't just summon. Yeah, Ascara into Velen will be a very common play, I can imagine. Hologram Operator, get 3 random temporary Draenei. Shit, I fucking hate the temporary keyword. Okay, so it's good if Draenei are good and Draenei are good, so it's good. And we've run out of space again unless the next card is garbage. Shuffle 3 asteroids into your deck. Oh good, it is objectively bad. Shuffle 3 asteroids into your deck to deal 2 damage to a random enemy when drawn. The whole asteroid gimmick is going to be overlooked. It's not going to be worth looking at twice, in my opinion. It's just kind of gimmicky, like cast when drawn, unless you can buff them. Does the card is Shaman, right? Asteroids deal 1 more damage this game. So you can give them a grand total of +2 more damage, which makes them about the same level of Fist of Jaraxxus. Again, it's a gimmick though. It's not a real deck, it's not going to be a real thing. Like flinging rocks around isn't gonna... What is it? A soggy woman throwing swords around isn't a proper form of government. Basically that. Give all my friendly Murlocs Death Rattle draw a card. Fuck me, there's a Murloc in this set. I'm gonna have to nuke that off the board because I've got also run out of space. Two. Murlocs are always pretty good. The problem is they haven't really had a lot of representation in the game recently. In Wild, this card will be absolutely fantastic. In Standard, it's going to probably be garbage. Because I don't think there's any Murlocs in Standard right now. There's all Rager, Life Steals, attack a random enemy minion. This is trash. This will never see play. In my opinion, I don't think this will ever see play. Like, just because it belongs... It's a Demon Hunter card that isn't in Demon Hunter for some reason. If you're building a Starship game +2/+2... I mean, that's just like perfectly... This is a perfect middle-of-the-road card. Like, it's not overpowered, it's not weak. It's just there. It just does what it needs to do. Nexus Prince Shafar. Give minion in your hand +3/+3 and the spell burst. You actually get this for free. So if you're a Hearthstone player in chat, log in, you get this for free. I've seen it being used. I don't know if it's any good. It's kind of similar to Dragon Rider Talrifa, which gives Dragon and +3 attack, +3/3, and when it and the same death rattle. So when it dies, it gives that death rattle, as well as Steward, which gives the next Silverhand recruit you play +3/3 and the same death rattle. So I think it's good. It's seen play. People have been practicing with it. Oh, electric. Right. Splitting Space Rock. Summon 2 4/4s. 8 mana, 8/8 that splits. This is just bad. Like, getting 16/16 worth of stats out of an 8 cost is fine, but the 4/4s don't have taunt or anything, unless they do. Let me see, Space Rock. If they have taunt, it's good. If they don't, it's just garbage. What the fuck? Oh, so it's basically just a more fucking annoying version of Mecha Horsey. So when those splitting boulders... I think this is something you can just safely ignore most of the time. Like, if your opponent plays this, you know they're just playing it because it's a big minion that they got for as a rare. This is garbage. This is such a trash card. This will never see play. Yeah, like even the fact that it's got elemental tag, I don't think saves it. Hold on, they've got the Like even though they've all got the elemental tag, because they're not being played from your hand, they won't trigger any other benefits from like cards to say if you play an elemental. I think this card is literally just garbage. Elder Brute, Taunt, Lifesteal, cost 1 less for each enemy minion. This is fine. Like we've seen minions like this before, where it costs less based on the enemy, how many minions the enemy has. Taunt, Lifesteal is not really a new combination either. Wrath Scale Brute, Wrath Scale Brute. Nope, that's not right. Demon Hunter has a card that basically is the same thing. No, it's Wrathscale Naga I'm thinking of. Yeah, that's not right. Okay, I can't bother to look for it. Basically, they have a 2/6 that has Taunt, Lifesteal. I think it's like a 4 mana. It's not too bad. So this is pretty good. Like basically, if your opponent's playing aggro, it's a good way to deal with it. The aggro problem is only has 6 health, so it's not going to last very long. And I think this is the final card. Mutating life form after this survives damage, getting a random bonus effect. I don't think this is going to see play. The amalgam type. Actually, hold on. I'm going to put this hard to determine because it has the amalgam. It's an amalgam, so it has all the minion types. So you can buff it with literally everything that you can buff anything with. At the same time, the bonus I think the bonus effects mean less than it having the amalgam tag. But at the same time, it's still like not a terrible thing for it to have because it's not entirely terrible. Right. That's every card in the entire set. We'll now add it to the database. I also need to make sure to copy paste the legendaries. And I'm gonna go stand in some fresh now. Yeah, I need to make sure to copy the legendaries. So we want legendary, and I need to grab the neutrals. Actually, what I'll do is I'll just copy the legendaries first. So that one. Fine, I'll zoom. Copy. Copy. File, which I've already got there anyway. By class, these all go neutral. Delete that. Warrior. One legend, two legendaries. Wait, hold on. And back to by class. Remove. Quick access. Actually, one should just do it this, shouldn't I? Hold on. Also have to get the gifts, but I'll do that later or tomorrow. Warlock, the two legendaries are here. Copy. Delete folder, Shaman. The two legendaries are here. Rogue, 1, 2 legendaries. It's weird that it puts some of them on quick access, but not all of them. Beast, legendary, legendary. I'll do. Mage. There's some really like super exciting stuff that's gonna be in this. There's a couple of like really big decks that I'm looking forward to trying out. There's like a lot going on with this expansion. And then I've still got what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tier listing every legendary in the game, but based on how good they would be if your deck was only allowed to contain legendaries. Because I have a pay-to-win priest deck, which isn't really pay-to-win, it's just there's a lot of lower-cost legendaries nowadays. So it makes it easier to run a deck of 30 or more legendaries. So yeah, I built one priest because priest has the most available legendaries. Wait, hold on, that was incorrect. There you go, database just updated. There's all new cards now. All I've got to do is it's alright, because I've only got to get the golden gifts to these. Let me just see if they're already available. If they are, I may as well just quickly do that. And I need to go to Hearth Appointment for that. Which requires some moving around of screens, but it's fine. Alright, so what we got here, the first one we've got is Dodra. New Demon Hunter legendary card, Dodra Rebel Captain. Do you have the golden gift? Golden gift not currently available. Okay, that's fine. It's okay, we can wait. We don't, it's not like 100% important. So yeah, we will now find someone to raid, and then I will go away, and when you can have a quiet evening. Let's see. If Day 9 was doing Hearthstone, I would raid him. Although saying that, it's one of those sort of things where I would like to have a bigger audience if I was going to raid him. Let's see what New World is. I don't know what New World is. I know it's kind of a big shit game right now. Yeah, we'll raid for Buki. Oops. Alright. Thank you for coming and listening to me yap once again for like 3 fucking hours. Oh man, I'm going to go get some rest. Well, I'm gonna go stand outside first because I need to rest my my throat. Yeah, thanks for coming. I'll be back. As always, God only knows when. But yeah, see you.